Hello and welcome back to the Exponential. My name is RSquared. I'll be your host today. We are here, ready and live as the Baltimore Ravens get set to. That was fast. The newest member of our collection has already fallen. Let's see. How can I do this? 1 second. I'll keep talking and do my monologue while I try to fit it in. I know you can still hear me. So, what a wonderful day to start. The spookiness has already started. We can do this. It shouldn't be that hard. I have like a whole bunch of tape here just for this occasion. The Los Angeles Chargers are hosting the Baltimore Ravens, the 7-3 Chargers. Yes, that's correct. And the 7-4 Baltimore Ravens. The game hasn't started yet, so I'm going to do this until it starts probably. As you can see, there's a lot of tape here. This particular member has been quite annoying for me, and I've been fighting with him basically throughout the day. The Steelers are terrible. This is why we don't like Pittsburgh. This exact reason. And the Pittsburgh Steelers continue to give us issues. You know, I actually went to a Steelers game way back when. It was a lot of fun, actually. I enjoyed that game. Great atmosphere, loud, and the Dolphins won. That's good on that side. We're making good progress. Justin Herbert leads the way for the Chargers. He's got a big arm, but his primary threat in this game, Ladd McConkey, is currently questionable in this one. The Steelers giving me a lot of issues. And questionable in this one, but he is likely to play. That's huge. Ladd McConkey's been the leading receiver for the Chargers. But he hasn't been all the effort on the offense that the Chargers have had. That belongs to J.K. Dobbins, the former Baltimore Raven. He has been an absolute beast. That's going to stay there now. It's not going anywhere. It won't dare it. The Chargers' run game has been surprising, to say the least. They've put on a remarkable show of just general talent as far as the run game is going. J.K. Dobbins has had an incredible season, but that doesn't match to the guy on the other side of the field for the Baltimore Ravens, the guy who took J.K. Dobbins' place when he moved to L.A. It's Derrick the King Henry. Derrick Henry's been nearly unstoppable in this Ravens offense, and paired with Lamar Jackson, it makes the Ravens just a little too good to be true. Along with that wide receiver of Zay Flowers leading away, the Ravens offense has seemed mostly unstoppable. And the Chargers have been similar. Try and find a way to angle it better so that the mic's not completely blocking me. Much better. All right. Ooh, the surround sound. I turned it the wrong way, but I think the sound technically sounds better. So I'm going to leave it like that. On the injury report for these two teams are very big, important members of each defense. The Ravens without star leading tackler Roquan Smith. He's been the lead linebacker and captain of this Ravens defense. They're going to miss him quite a bit on this one. They're also missing linebacker David Ojabo, who's been pretty big when it comes to making tackles in the backfield for the Ravens, stopping the run defense. And the Chargers are missing linebacker Denzel Perriman. Perriman's been a constant on this Chargers team for a long time now. And he'll be pretty crucial if the Chargers are going to want to pick up a victory against this one. So we've talked about all the players now and these two AFC juggernauts, but the one thing we haven't discussed is the two coaches. The two head coaches, John and Jim Harbaugh, have met many a time before. John and Jim, brothers. They grew up together, and now they're coaching against each other. They both went to Michigan where they coached briefly. Then they met in the Super Bowl. On that wonderful day in Caesars Superdome, formerly known as Mercedes-Benz Superdome, for those that have been around watching football long enough, that was when it was called way back then. And that was the Ravens and 49ers. John Harbaugh still with the Ravens, and the 49ers was led at the time by Mr. Jim Harbaugh. The Ravens pulled away after a little bit of a lighting issue. So he says, you know what, if we had trouble in lighting with the first Super Bowl, I'm going with the team with the best lights and the biggest stars. They're heading to LA, and the Chargers, who will hopefully bolt up this offense. We're about to get underway here in SoCal, SoFi Stadium, home of the LA Chargers and the LA Rams, but today it's home to the Chargers, who are donning their all-navy uniforms. And Justin Tucker will kick us away. I'm here for the next 3.5 hours here on the Exponential, live from Los Angeles, California. The new dynamic kickoff will result in a touchback, as it usually has. Out comes Justin Herbert. He's got 246 straight attempts throwing without an interception this year. He's only got one interception on the year. He's been almost pocket perfect, 64% completion percentage, 219 pass yards per game, and 13 touchdowns. I mean, that touchdown number could be higher, but he's not exactly surrounded by the talent that he has been in the past at that wide receiver unit. No more Keenan Allen, no more Mike Williams. Instead, it's Quentin Johnston and Ladd McConkey. So here come the Chargers, and Justin Herbert on the first play. Herbert starts under center. Ravens will rush forward to open up the game. They have big number 44 in motion to open up. He'll go back towards the other direction. And he's back in motion, and it'll be a handoff. A lot of eye candy at the beginning of that one, and that's going nowhere. And the Ravens defense says, not getting a single yard on us today. J.K. Dobbins stuffed at the line for no gain. Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, he was the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens just last year before he was fired because he couldn't get the run game going. Now it's Todd Monken leading the way for the Ravens, and he's done a fantastic job. But the Chargers haven't been too bad themselves. They've put up impressive offensive numbers. They've done a great job in the running game with the same running back core. Herbert, 2nd and 10. Play action towards Dobbins. He'll throw, and he's got a man. It's 15. I need to start learning the Chargers. I haven't been with the Chargers yet this year. I was with the Ravens. You can check the VODs out for that one. That was Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey, he is active for this one, and he gets the first call from Herbert. Quick little slant down the middle. He was double covered for a brief second, but he just outpaces Marlon Humphrey on that one. Good speed showed there by McConkey, and McConkey was all over that one. First down for the Chargers early on in this one. Jim Harbaugh clapping on his team. It is going to be hard to differentiate between the two of them, really relying on what they're wearing. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Justin Herbert hands it off up the middle. That'll be a call for Gus Edwards, also a former Ravens running back. Edwards and Dobbins teamed up in Baltimore for a long while there before heading to LA for their newest stint. The defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, Zachary Orr, they're 24th in the NFL in points allowed per game. They're worst in the NFL in pass yards per game, and they're missing Roquan Smith. Their defense hasn't exactly been up to the standard that we'd expect from a classic Ravens defense that Anthony Weaver would host as the linebackers, and of course, and that's a first down up the middle to Gus Edwards. I'm blanking on the name of the former DB. He's a coach now. I'm just blanking on his name. I'll figure it out eventually. Roquan Smith. It's the first ever game he's missed with the Ravens due to an injury. He was traded from the Bears back in 2022. I forgot he played for the Bears. That was so long ago. He was good for the Bears, good for the Ravens. I've been watching sports for a long time. It's hard to remember exactly where everyone comes from. 1st and 10, 12:30 remaining here in the first quarter. Justin Herbert and the Chargers putting together a drive from the 41.5-yard line. They try for a little bit of trickery. He's just going to duck it and pass. He'll end up taking the run under pressure. He'll slide after a gain of about 5. So they tried to pull a little bit of trickery there. I'm trying to figure out who they sent in motion. I got to pay attention to the numbers. That was who I thought it was. It's Darius Davis in the second year at TCU. They drafted a few TCU alum in that year, Quentin Johnson, Darius Davis. They were in love with that Texas Christian University wide receiver unit that they took 2 of them. 2nd and 6 from the Baltimore 37-yard line. A little bit of eye candy at the beginning, and Herbert will hand it off to Dobbins. Dobbins gets a nice little push, and he'll get about 10 to 15 yards on the play. Rough estimation. I promise I'll get better as the night goes on. I'm still familiarizing with myself with the Chargers roster over on my right. Still trying to figure out who 44 was from that opening play. I can't be right. Okay. 1st and 10. Greg Roman's in his first season as the Chargers offensive coordinator. As I was just saying, he was the Ravens coordinator for 3 years before his ultimate firing. 1st and 10. Herbert Will go play action. He'll throw up the middle. He's got a man. It's his tight end. A big gain for about 16 or 17. And that'll put the Chargers at goal to go. That would have been Will Dissly. Will Dissly's been a surprise for this Chargers offense coming over from Seattle. And I think he's been a few other places, but that's where I remember him best, was in Seattle. Hayden Hurst was supposed to be the top receiver, but Will Dissly coming out with 352 yards. That's only 2 less than Quentin Johnston, who's been considered one of the best on the team. Johnston in motion, and it'll be a handoff. Give to Dobbins. Dobbins will go for about 2, and then he stopped there. Ravens defensive line holding strong so far through this one. Second goal coming up for the Chargers. Let's see if we can find the attendance count. I like looking for the attendance count. I don't normally say it, but it's not out yet. Dang. It'll be there at halftime. J.K. Dobbins has spent most of his career with the Ravens before coming here just this last year. The Chargers have a touchdown of 50% of goal-to-go drives, which is the second worst in the NFL. Their red zone needs to be more efficient. Ladd McConkey in motion. Herbert will look to his left. Under pressure, he'll tuck it himself, and he'll get the touchdown. Touchdown, Chargers. Justin Herbert is, I'm not sure where he's going, but Justin Herbert, a 5-yard touchdown run to take it in himself, and LA strikes first in the Harbaugh. A nice drive put together by the Chargers. 9 plays, 70 yards, 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Not a whole lot to be sad about if you're the Chargers. I might turn it down just a bit so I can make my calls a little louder, because I like being loud with my touchdown calls. 9:45. Nice drive put together from the Chargers, and the extra point. It is good. 7-0. The Chargers lead the Ravens. Just dealing with some noise issues. You may hear it. Like, I can hear noise. If they're in my headphones, that means you can hear them too. So the Chargers struck first in the Harbaugh. Justin Herbert taking it himself. Smart play. He looked for a while there, looking, and there's nothing there. He just made the smart decision to tuck it and run. Justin Herbert's been fairly efficient on the ground this year. Let's take a look at Herbert's ground numbers for the LA Chargers in his first season under head coach Jim Harbaugh. Herbert's got 182 yards on the ground. He's been more of a dual threat quarterback than we thought. That's only his second touchdown of the year as far as the ground game goes. The running game hasn't exactly been too efficient so far this year. I mean, offensively speaking, they do not have that many touchdowns. 23 touchdowns with the entire offense, only 23 touchdowns. That is not high. They're pretty low compared to some of the other teams in the NFL. We compare them to the Ravens' high-scoring juggernaut of an offense. And Lamar Jackson has thrown 25 touchdowns, and they have 15 touchdowns running the ball. That's 45 touchdowns. They've outpaced the Chargers offense significantly. So why have the Chargers been winning games, you might be wondering? Let's take a bit of a look at that. They've had some pretty easy opponents. They started with the Raiders. That's a win. Panthers win. They faced a tough opponent in the Steelers and Chiefs in back-to-back weeks. They lost both of them. They had a divisional challenge against the Broncos. They managed to pull away from that one, 3-2. They lost to the Cardinals. That was a tough one, 3-3. They beat the Chargers. They beat the Saints. Then this streak here has been so easy. The Saints, that's the Saints not with Derek Carr, mind you. The Saints with, they still had Dennis Allen at that time as well. My brain is going a little slower than usual. It is late here, just a reminder to everyone, but we'll get into it. The Chargers beat the Browns the week after that, 27-10 against a very weak Browns team. Then they went out and beat the Titans in a tightly contested one. And then this last Sunday night, they had their first big challenge since they started getting a little warmer as far as offense goes, and they put on 34 points against the Cincinnati Bengals. They've been really good. They've been really good this year as far as just winning games, winning tight games. They've kind of bullied bad teams a bit, which I know a little hypocritical coming from me as a Dolphins fan, but but they've kind of beaten up on bad teams, but this Ravens team is not a bad team. This is a big challenge for the Chargers coming into this one. They're going to need a win. If they do manage to win this one, the Chargers might become the legitimate team to beat in the AFC. I mean, they're in the division with the Chiefs, but that's a top wildcard spot. This could very well determine seeding for the AFC playoff race. See here, McConkey came in motion as if he were setting up a jet sweep. Herbert got the snap off a little late. There was just no one really well covered. And then he just makes a nice move with some good blocking from Quentin Johnston and a nice little move to get away from Marlon Humphrey at the end there. Nice job by Justin Herbert to get the touchdown. Jim Harbaugh celebrating. He's going, I want this win. This is sibling rivalry at its finest. Head coach v. head coach. Lamar Jackson on the first play. He'll tuck it himself on a run option for Henry. That's one of the most dangerous plays you can call if you're the Ravens. That's going to terrify defenses all over. A career-high passing touchdown through 11 games for Lamar Jackson this season. 25 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, 261 pass yards per game, 2 rushing touchdowns, 53 rush yards per game. He's finally starting to look like a quarterback. For the longest time, there was always the meme that was getting old. The Lamar Jackson's not a quarterback. He's a running back because he wasn't passing the ball well enough. He has silenced the haters so far this year with those 25 passing touchdowns, and he's letting Derrick Henry carry the workload in the running game. Lamar Jackson hands off to Henry. Henry pushes through for a gain of 6 and a Baltimore Ravens first down. If you're the Chargers, you have to find a way to be able to stop this offense. This offense is led by coordinator Todd Monken, 30.4 points per game. That's second in the NFL. Derrick Henry leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns with 13, and they managed to get center Tyler Linderbaum healthy for this game against the Chargers. He's their center. The snapping is going to get a little better for the Ravens, a lot cleaner now that he's healthy again. 1st and 10, Lamar Jackson under center, Picard in motion. That's funny. Nelson Aguilar makes a leaping grab on the pass. His name is Patrick Ricard. That's why I say, as I see P. Ricard on his that's good. All right, that's what his name's going to be for now. And it'll pull it back. So that pass play won't count. It was on Ricard. Funny I mentioned him. And so the Ravens play will not go. We'll see what the penalty was on Ricard. He was he didn't actually he completely whiffed. He totally whiffed on that. I mean, it was kind of a chop block, but he whiffed. He totally missed him. 93 accepted penalties by the Ravens this season. That's the most in the NFL. If they're going to want a shot at the Super Bowl, they're going to have to clean their game up a little bit. As we see here, they're at their own 25-yard line. It's 1st and 25. Huge penalty early on in this one. They'll hand it off to Derrick Henry, and Henry will only get about 2 or 3 yards on the carry. 2nd down coming up for the Ravens. I mean, it was a very iffy penalty that Ravens fans can head to Twitter about because, I mean, he totally missed. I get it. It was ill intent. That was an attempted chop block, but ultimately he completely missed him. And I think if you're the refs, you got to take into effect that he never even stood a chance. I mean, that's a 400-pound man going up against a fast edge rusher, and he just missed. I don't think that was penalty worthy. Lamar Jackson will take the snap. He's under pressure, and he'll shovel it underneath to Mark Andrews, who will get about 3 yards. They're chipping at it, but this is 3rd and really long coming up for the Ravens. 3rd and really, really long. The Chargers defense led by Jesse Minter. 14.5 points per game is allowed, fewest in the NFL. Tui Tuapolutu has 7 sacks in the last 4 games. He's been massive for this one. They have Khalil Mack healthy for this one. Denzel Perriman, as I said at the beginning, inactive. Tui Tuapolotu has been fantastic. He's been the new Tua Tagovailoa. Tui Tuapolotu. I'm going to have fun calling his name tonight. 3rd and 20 coming up for the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson drops back to pass. Jackson will throw deep, and he'll just throw it out of bounds, heading in the direction of Zay Flowers. 4th and 20, 6:37 remaining here in the first quarter, and the Ravens offense will be forced off the field by the league's best defense. So the Los Angeles Chargers hold strong. The Ravens will be forced to punt. So the Ravens have the worst defense. The Chargers don't the Ravens defense has been 24th in the nation. I flipped that. The Ravens defense has been like 26th, I believe it was. Chargers offense has been 24th, while the Ravens offense has been second. The Chargers defense has been first. It's been quite the race in this one. I mean, honestly, we're only looking particularly at who can score more on this one, because if the Ravens can get their offense rolling against this tough defense, then the Ravens are going to pull away with this one. But it comes down to what Justin Herbert can cook on the offense to see if the Chargers can get ahead early. A 14-0 start would be good here in SoCal as we see the beautiful beaches of Southern California highlighted as the sun gets ready to set. I would know a little thing or two about sunsetting. The sun's been set for the past, quick math, like 12 hours almost. Not really. It's been like 9 hours. 9 hours of darkness. It's been fun. We just love the night over here. I mean, that's why they're the Ravens. They play better at night. So far, we're not seeing it from the offense. We'll see if their defense can come up with a big stop here against the Chargers. So Herbert got him off to an early start, 2 of 2 for 35 yards, while Lamar is 1 of 2 for 2. J.K. Dobbins also outpacing Derrick Henry by 6 yards. He has 14, 3 carries, while Henry has taken it twice for 8. That movie looks... I'm interested to see how it is compared to the first one. Not sponsored by, obviously, but if you are going to see Moana, feel free to comment in the chat. Moana 2. It looks interesting. It comes out technically today for me, but I believe it comes out tomorrow for all of those in the United States. Maybe in a couple days. I might be wrong, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it could be a pretty good movie. Thoughts. You think it's going to be a good movie? I'm looking for stuff to talk about. This is the time when we would be going to commercial. If I had a partner, I would just be talking to him about how the game's going. Haven't gotten one yet as far as commentary goes. Dolphins colors. I'm rooting for Popeyes. I'm not sponsored by. They have a teal and orange Popeyes commercial. I'm like, ooh, maybe I have to go eat at Popeyes. They know their stuff. They know their color combos. Don't care. Of course you don't. So 6:31 remaining here in the first quarter. Chargers lead by 7, getting the ball back. How do we feel about the Chargers uniforms? I mean, they're nothing spectacular, in my opinion. The navy blue, I much prefer the powder blue personally. I really like their original powder blue uniforms. Of course, I'm a big fan of the really old ones, the ones that they had back when I started watching football in the Phillip Rivers days. I mean, the switch wasn't bad. I like the colors, but I definitely prefer the powder blue over this attempt at trying to be the old Chargers in Phillip Rivers' jersey, but it just doesn't look the same. Herbert, play action for, and he's taken down, and he'll spin away, and he's taken down on the second effort. And that'll be a loss of 4 for the Chargers. It was a play action for Dobbins. He looked downfield, and the pressure got to him a little faster than you would like if you're Herbert, and he had to step up. He got away from the first one, but the second attempt there got him. Interesting, probably powder blue. Yeah, the powder blue is a much nicer blue. It's much more pleasing on the eyes. It's the Chargers' normal colors. See if I can find some good ones. I liked the way they shimmered on Sunday Night Football. The cameras really captured the contrast between the Bengals and the Chargers. And it'll be a play action towards Dobbins, and he'll dump it off to Dobbins, and the ball will fall incomplete. It'll be incomplete, 3rd and 13. So that ball fell short at the hands of Dobbins. Bad throw by Herbert, 3rd and long coming up. Good job by Dobbins, though. Very smart move, just going after the ball. 7 pieces of tape. That's what it gets you. 3rd and 13 coming up for the Chargers. Harbaugh has the highest win percentage over 5 seasons since 1990 with a .689. I mean, he's a great coach. He's done a fantastic job in Baltimore. He'll continue to do it. Pressure coming for Herbert at the 1. He'll flick it in. It's somehow completed to Lad McConkey for a gain of 14, and the drive stays alive, and the Chargers are charging ahead for another first down. And a surprising throw there by Herbert. I did not actually expect that to work with the pressure he was seeing. but just a little slip up by Stevens, and that led McConkey to being right in between the zone between him and Nate Wiggins. Great job by the Chargers reading the zone. Herbert delivering a precise and accurate pass. Herbert under center, Dobbins in the backfield. Expect to run. And they will hand it to Dobbins towards the right end, and Dobbins will go for about 5 yards. There's a flag. Second flag of the day. Get to meet our referee. Well, I feel like I missed him earlier. False start on LA. That'll back him up 5 yards. It was on it was holding. My bad. I missed the I saw this. I'm not either I'm missing the symbols or commentary's wrong up there. So this is Carl Sheffers' crew. Sheffers he's a good referee. Very, very popular. All referees are very popular. Everyone knows this. Kyle Hamilton, second-time All-Pro safety for the Ravens. He's been huge as far as just speed. He's been a lockdown safety. I mean, if there's ever such a thing, you see him getting closer to the line than any safety should be. Herbert, under a lot of pressure, hits him with the pump fake, dumps it off to Dobbins. Dobbins makes a nice move to evade one tackle, and he'll go for about 10. Second and 5, I would say. We'll see. Second and 9. Wow. I need to get my vision checked after that one. Maybe stick to the Dolphins march. Hey, that's the way to go. I am never objected to sticking with the Dolphins march. Kyle Hamilton snaps through week 11. He's played 206 as safety and 196 as linebacker, just as far as positioning goes. He is at linebacker right now as far as positioning. And he'll come in to try and get Dobbins, who runs towards the left end, and he's tackled after a gain of only 3 or 4, bringing up 3rd and mid for the Chargers. 3:40 remaining here in the first quarter. Chargers lead by 7 as these AFC juggernauts have only exchanged one possession. This is the Chargers' second of the day. The Chargers have been putting together some very methodical drives so far, very long, very careful. Very much trying to dissect the defense rather than go for the explosive plays, kind of similar to what we saw for Miami against New England this Sunday. Yes, I loved that game. I loved watching Miami just piece their way through New England. The Ravens showing pressure. They back out, only rush 4. Herbert rolls to his right. He'll throw, and it is incomplete. Good job by Nate Wiggins breaking up the pass. He's heading towards the former Philadelphia Eagle, Jalen Reagor. Great job by Wiggins, just laying the boom on him. That would have been a first down, kept the drive rolling, but Wiggins hits him with a big one. He was a little bit far back, but he carries the momentum. He makes sure he's not there too early, and he just shoulders him right in the ball. Great job by Wiggins, good defense. He actually had McConkey a little deeper. If he had just turned his eyes upfield, that would have been an easy throw of 30. There's a flag. This could be on Baltimore, which would keep the drive going. Flag on the punt. Here comes Sheffers. We'll see what the call is. It's false start on LA, which will just back up their punter a little farther. It was on Tuli Tuipulotu. I will have a fun time with him. We should get a counter of how many times I call his name in this one, just because of how fun it is. So yeah, that play was on Tuli Tuipulotu. And here comes the punt from J.K. Scott, I think their punter is, and this will be fair caught. There's another flag. Suddenly, the refs, it's starting to be a bad sign for the refs as they're starting to tear their rotator cuffs, the amount of flags they're throwing early on in this one. We'll see what the flag is on this one. So 2 back-to-back flags for the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh looking on in shock. Looks like it might be on him yet again. Personal foul. It's looking like it's against the Ravens, but yeah, personal foul on Nate Wiggins. And it will be a first down for Baltimore regardless, but that will back them up 15 yards. So a little bit of confusion there. I wish I had my sound on, but you know. So yeah, that was unnecessary roughness on Nate Wiggins for pushing him too far out of bounds. It's fair caught by Tylan Wallace. So that would have been at the Baltimore 32 is where it was enforced. Back them up 15 yards. From there, they'll start at the 17. Nice Apple Watch, man. Why, thank you. I like it. And fins up. I mean, I get whatever I can get. Like, I'll wear as much Dolphins merch as it takes. I mean, we're finally starting winning, so stuff has some effect. Mostly, our quarterback not getting hit in the head helps quite a bit. My reaction after the Rams game was, "Oi, he took a knee to the head intentionally." That was probably the most ridiculous potential concussion I've ever seen. Was just simply kneeing. Well, technically he headbutted a player in the knee, not the other way around. Like, he flat out just like, "Here's my head, concuss me." Ridiculous. And then he said, I would not do anything different. I would not do anything different next time. Like, what? He headbutted somebody to the knee in the Rams game a few weeks ago. Did not get concussed, although he very well might have been because of his response post game. "I would do everything again." Super Bowl XLV II. You can do the math yourself if you're good at Roman numerals. I'm not doing it right now, but it's in the 50s. Jim Harbaugh got off to a strong start for the 49ers, but it ended up being John's day as the world champion Baltimore Ravens pulled away with that Super Bowl. That is Harbaugh's Super Bowl. That was the Harbaugh at its finest. The Harbaugh Super Bowl. They're the only brothers to meet as head coaches in NFL history. John Harbaugh has a 2-0 record. Jim trying to upheave that today. He wanted the concussion? Seems like it. I mean, he flat out he threw an interception. He went like this and just took a knee to the back of the head. Like, it was intentional. He goes out and is like, "I would not do anything different. The only thing I would do different was not throw the interception in the first place." He's like, "But if you do, what would you do?" "I would do nothing different." He's just trying. He's trying to get hurt. Lamar Jackson starts under center. Derrick Henry in the backfield. Call goes to Henry. Henry gets a little hole there, gets about 5 yards on the play. We saw Jim and John meeting at the beginning and feeling each other's biceps up, trying to like, "Hey, you seem stronger." No, you seem stronger. That's the brotherly macho that we all expect out of two NFL head coaches. Just yeah, you seem stronger, brother. No, brother, you seem stronger. Lamar Jackson will drop back to pass this time. He'll look towards the way of Zay Flowers, and he severely overthrows him. 3rd and 5 coming up for Baltimore. Lamar Jackson being very inaccurate so far in this one. He's 1 of 3, but his 2 passes have been well over the head of Zay Flowers. The only pass that was a completion was underneath to Mark Andrews. 7 points or fewer allowed in the first half of every game this year for the Chargers. Boy, do they wish they had that defense when they had the defensive head coach. That was a little bit of a dig at last year's and the previous 3 years. As Chargers, Lamar Jackson drops back deep. He'll look deep, and there was a lot of contact, but he did severely overthrow that. There will not be any flags for pass interference. He was looking for Deontay Johnson. John Harbaugh is looking for a flag, but I got to admit that was an awful throw. I mean, there was a lot of contact on the route. Nope, no pass. He didn't even touch him. So badly overthrown. Not only was it badly overthrown, he never had a chance to catch that, and he just fell down. Lamar Jackson is not playing his best football right now. 4th and 5, which will lead the Ravens to punt it away back to the Chargers offense with 2:11 to go here in the first quarter. And this will be returnable, and he makes one man miss. We'll get to the 25, the 30, breaks a few tackles to get to the 35.5-yard line. It's Darius Davis, that TCU receiver I was talking about, showing up some of that speed for TCU. SoFi Stadium showing off all their waterfall splendor in the league's newest two stadiums. I'm not sure which one came first, Allegiant or SoFi. But I believe it was Allegiant that came before SoFi, so I think it is the newest stadium, but not quite certain. 7-0. Chargers have the lead. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Is the third drive for Justin Herbert. Comes out. I mean, you gotta laud the Chargers for how long their drives have been so far. They have 5 minutes, 3 minutes. So they took out 8 minutes of the clock just like that, giving the Ravens only about 4 or 5. They had an 8-minute and 45-second drive so far for the Chargers, and then only 4 minutes almost exactly for the Ravens. They've doubled the amount of time that the Ravens have been. That first drive was long. They spent the time just digging into the defense, starting to get a foothold early on in this one. Then on that second drive, they tried to do the same thing, but it came down to the big defensive play by Nate Wiggins that shut the drive down on 3rd and short. Let's watch some commercials. Not sure if this is a commercial about alcohol or strawberries. Greatness of football. Mostly the commercials. Ooh, a piano. That's a nice piano. And a tuxedo. Of course it is. I mean, you could just tell when you saw just the entire vibe of this commercial just screams Amazon. I mean, the piano, the microphone, the tuxedo. Because you can order a piano on Amazon. You'd get it faster than eBay. Not sponsored by Amazon or eBay. No. I'm not even going to bother saying what that commercial was. Important announcement. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, no. Please. What? No. Excuse me? Huh? They just dropped Bengals Cowboys in one of the upcoming weeks as a Simpsons Disney Plus special. AFC playoff picture, the Chiefs are in first, the Chargers are in the hunt, and the Ravens are also the Chargers and Ravens are both in the wild card, but they are being slowly hunted by the top in the hunt Dolphins, second in the hunt Colts, and third in the hunt Bengals. As the three teams are kind of chasing the Chargers and the Broncos, and depending on who wins this one, the Ravens might become the team on the chopping block as well. The Ravens might end up being stuck with that 7 spot at the end, with the 6 spot at the end of this week, which puts them on the line. The Chargers gives them a nice little padding. This is a huge game for LA to win. If LA loses this one, they find themselves a little bit in more danger with Miami, Denver, Indianapolis, less so Indianapolis, and Cincinnati all crawling there. Play clock winding down, hands off to Dobbins. Dobbins will get about 4 yards. He'll be pushed back by the Ravens. We'll see where they spot the ball. It's 3rd down. Dobbins at the bottom of a huge pile. Takes him about 10 seconds. J.K. Dobbins, he's from LaGrange, Texas. 2020 second-round pick by the Ravens out of Ohio State. Played 15 games as a rookie, 9 games over the last 3 seasons with the Ravens. He signed a 1-year deal with the Chargers. He's struggled with injuries for the majority of his career, but he's finally gotten healthy with the Chargers. Seems like Jim Harbaugh has brought the best out in Dobbins. Herbert will hand it off to Dobbins. Dobbins has a nice hole. He'll get to about the Baltimore 38-yard line. A nice run to most likely end the quarter as J.K. Dobbins saying, yeah, that's me. That's me. A nice run there. They targeted the new linebacker, and he went for the line, and Dobbins just exploited the hole that was left there. He tried to come in on somewhat of a blitz and just missed the mark. And Dobbins took advantage of that hole there, and it took the cornerbacks to take him down. They don't have to snap a play, and they will not. That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. The Chargers lead 7-0. Chargers have possession heading into the second quarter at the Baltimore 39-yard line. 3 quarters still remain here in LA. In the Harbaugh, we're not going to stop mentioning the Harbaugh because that is the highlight of this one. Although right now it's kind of looking like the quarterbacks, the quarterback differential in this one. Justin Herbert is struggling like, yeah, sorry, I got them too. Justin Herbert's having a great game so far, 5 of 7 for 65 yards, while Lamar Jackson's 1 of 4 for 2. Lamar Jackson is just not making the plays. Nessa, what is going on? Huh? Okay. That was a confusing commercial. I think it was about a movie. Herbert has gone 5 of 7 for 65 yards, and Lamar Jackson's 1 of 4 for 2. Lamar has just not been accurate. He's overthrown 3 wide receivers by half a mile, basically. And Justin Herbert has just been perfectly accurate. His only incompletions have come on great defensive stops by the Ravens. The Chargers have been shutting down the Ravens so far on offense with Derrick Henry. Only has 13 yards. It's been a mighty impressive first quarter for this one. I mean, let's check the yardage count because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be very high. I'm correct. They have 20 total yards of offense in this first quarter. The Ravens have only 20 yards of offense. The Chargers are doing a fantastic job of shutting them down. If you look at the Chargers, who have quite a bit more, 123. They've done a great job of getting the ball moving early in this one. They're on their way to a second red zone drive, assuming things stay as they've been. J.K. Dobbins has been running the ball well. Herbert's been throwing very accurate passes, while the Ravens have just not had much to cheer about so far in this one. The Chargers, Khalil Mack's been leading the way. He's been plugging the holes of the running game. Done a great job there. And we've seen some good pressures from the likes of Morgan Fox and Poona Ford early on in this one. Next Monday. Oh, I thought that would have been so much cool. It's Bo Nix, the rookie sensation. So much for Bo Picks. But Jameis Winston's coming to visit him. He's the king of interceptions. So Bo Picks against Jameis always throws an interception Winston as the Browns head to Empower Field at Mile High Stadium to take on the Broncos. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. It is Justin Herbert. Herbert go play action. He'll just dump it off to J.K. Dobbins, who makes one man miss, so then he's absolutely slammed down. After that one, Dobbins a little upset about getting nailed at the end of that one, though, was Harrison on the tackle. He's taken over for Roquan Smith. I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't actually watched the whole trailer. 2nd and 4. I should, but I haven't. I haven't read it yet. I haven't seen it yet. Not fully. Herbert under center, handoff goes to Edwards. Edwards gets a nice little 3-yard run. 3rd and short coming up for the Chargers. For just over 14 minutes to go here in the first half. First quarter has ended with the Chargers leading by 7, and the Chargers are driving yet again. Third and 1. These dual running backs have so far combined for 65 yards on the ground. 6 rushes for Dobbins, 3 from Edwards. They've been roasting their old team. The Ravens stack the line, and Edwards won't get there. Good defense by the Ravens, bringing up 4th and 1, stuffing the line perfectly, and Edwards can't manage to grab the first down. Great job by the Ravens D-line getting in there. Of course, Harbaugh saying, it's my brother, got to be aggressive, backyard style, 4th and 1. The Chargers are going for it. Herbert's under center. Big man's in motion. Edwards at the fullback position. They'll hand it to Edwards, and Edwards will go forward for 2 yards. And the Los Angeles Chargers, first down. Still trying to figure out who 42 is. It's Tucker Fisk. Tucker Fisk. He's a tight end turned fullback, it seems. That's 44. Who is that? Okay. says it's Scott Matlock. Is that Scott Matlock? It is Scott Matlock. Only player with 50-plus snaps on offense and defense this season. That's why I was confused. I was looking at their offense. I'm like, who's 44? 1st and 10, Herbert drops back to pass. He'll shovel it to Dobbins on a dangerous throw. Gets only 3 yards. Herbert hit tough. He's wincing a bit after that one. Harrison on the pressure. Another nice drive for the Chargers, taking up the clock well. I mean, the less time you give the ball to Lamar Jackson, the less time he gets the chance to make those explosive plays if he ever starts producing them. 2nd and 7. 11:45 to go here in the first half. Herbert in shotgun all alone back in the backfield. Blitz coming from Baltimore. They rush 5. Herbert throws to the end zone. It's incomplete. Broken up by Nate Wiggins. And Wiggins is having himself a nice day. 2 forced incompletions so far for Nate Wiggins. That one was heading towards Quentin Johnston. So 3rd and a bit to go. 7. You see, he had a man wide open in the middle of the field. It was Palmer. That would have been a touchdown, especially if Johnson had picked up the block against Wiggins. That would have been a guaranteed touchdown, but he had a play in mind. He took the jump ball, and Wiggins did a nice job. He didn't turn his head back, but there was no PI. He went purely for the ball. Great defense by Nate Wiggins. Ravens bring pressure again. At least they're showing it. They rush 4, they back out. Pressure still comes to them, and J.K. Dobbins can't reel in the pass. Too fast from Herbert, and Board will force the incompletion. We're going to have 4th and 7, forcing the kicking team onto the field for the Chargers. He threw it like a bullet at J.K. Dobbins. It was at the wrong angle, and he drilled it in there. Almost like he attempted it to float in, and he just put so much strength on it that it just bounced off the inside of his hand. Dobbins had to turn his hand this way to make the catch. Couldn't do it. Cameron Dicker is the kicker for the Chargers. Dicker, the kicker. He's 21 of 23 from field goals today. It's a 42-yard attempt. And Dicker puts this one through right down the middle. And the Chargers take a 10-0 lead. 11:26 to go here in the first half. The Ravens have a bit of comeback to do, down 2 scores. But up next is Lamar Jackson and King Henry himself. An airport commercial. Wait, what is this? It feels like a bad idea. What is this? I'm hooked. What a weird commercial. It's called Carry On, not sponsored by Netflix or anything, but this holiday season. What is this holiday season? What? Jason Bateman. Okay. It's the Netflix one. It's a movie called Carry On, but it looks pretty interesting. Great voice inflections. Why, thank you. I do have pretty good voice. Which one are you talking about? My voice changes quite often. No, it was like this Netflix commercial. It looked pretty good. I'm gonna watch it. This holiday, it has nothing to do about the holidays. I feel like it's gonna be a... Okay, by the way, this is ridiculous. Hard Knocks with the NFC North. I mean, they are changing the entire philosophy that Hard Knocks has been built on all these years. We're going one team at a time to get a good inside look throughout the entirety of half the season, to get a good look at the inside of the team. It was great last year when they were in Miami, fantastic. And meanwhile, they're over there now coming in. I was like, oh, we're going to do an entire division. Hopefully we'll get the looks we want from them. But, maybe not. We don't care. Ooh, welcome to the Harbaugh Championship meal. It's Thanksgiving in the Harbaugh family as Western Kentucky Jack Harbaugh, 2002 FCS National Champion. That's Jack. reserved for John Harbaugh, Super Bowl XLV2 Super Bowl champion, and Jim Harbaugh, 2023 national champion. Who's got it better than us? I mean, these three Harbaugh brothers have been some of the greatest that have ever seen or heard the name of football. I mean, when you think Harbaugh, you immediately think either Michigan, Baltimore, San Francisco, or apparently Western Kentucky. At 10-0, the Chargers have the lead. Out comes Lamar Jackson trying to bring some life into this otherwise lifeless team. Eli Apple is questionable to return to this game with a hamstring injury. He used to play for the Saints. No, he's on the Chargers. So Lamar trying to get his team hyped up. Joey Bosa was getting his hand checked out by the medical staff during the break on the last one. Bosa's been very fragile for the Chargers D-line. But he is still one of the best. He's getting a lot of constant pressure. He may not be getting the sacks or the production he's used to, but he's definitely getting some pressure. The Ravens in I formation. A little bit of confusion with the noise. They back slightly out of I formation. Hand off to Henry. Henry finds a hole towards the right side. He hurdles a man 15 yards, and that goes for 19 yards. And a little bit of a sidestep hurdle there from Derrick Henry, looking like, that's why he's the king. He's got those Madden moves in him. It looked like a video game there. He just finds the crease perfectly. Then the little side jump to get out of the way there, and takes 3 men to take the king down. That's why they call him the king, because you're not supposed to take him down. You're not supposed to throw him out. This is his kingdom. This entire year has been his rushing game kingdom. Him and Saquon Barkley. And they'll run the same I formation, Ricard in motion. Hand off to Henry again. Henry's got another hole. Don't let him get rolling. He's got another 15. And Derrick Henry saying, I think I'm going to give this team some juice. Not juice. No, you don't mess with the king. That is his name. You do not mess with the king. Derrick Henry, he just finds the hole and just slips away from 3 or 4 tackles on that one. He's King Henry. That's his entire thing. He's Derrick Henry, so he's King Henry. And he has ruled the rushing game many a time. Hand off to Justice Hill this time. Go for more of the speedster, and they'll get about 5 or 6, giving Henry a break. But this rushing game starting to get established for Baltimore. This is how they beat you. You cannot allow this to happen. This is how Baltimore gets going. Last week at Pittsburgh, he had 65 yards and a touchdown. This week, he already has 46 just from those 2 runs, basically. No, you don't mess with King Henry because he has the meanest stiff arm that the NFL has ever seen. He can knock you into the ground a few feet with that arm. Justice Hill in the backfield. They got Ricard and Andrews back there with him too. Trying to get the call off. Looks like they're calling an audible. 3, 2, Lamar will go play action. Pressure coming. He'll launch deep. He's got a man. Flowers! Incomplete. Broken up by Gilman. What a throw by Lamar, though. He put that right in his hands, and the only way he was dropping that was if Gilman was there, because that was a beautiful throw. Absolutely fantastic. Great job by Gilman breaking it up. Good safety play. And some could argue that he got there a little early with some hand fighting, but ultimately he turned his head back to the ball. He was looking for the ball the entire time, and he swatted it out. That's a clean play. Lamar Jackson's only completed 1 pass still, but that was definitely an upwards look for Baltimore so far in this one. 9:16 to go here in the first half. 3rd and 5. Lamar, under pressure from Bosa, scrambles to his right. He'll throw overhead. He's got Andrews. First down to the 16-yard line of LA. And that's his second completion of the day for Lamar Jackson. He's just doing what he does best, rolling right out of the pocket. He made a nice move to get out of Joey Bosa's area, because you don't ever want to be near Joey Bosa, and delivers a spot-on dime to Mark Andrews, who has to catch it against his hip, but he still caught it. Great throw by Jackson on the run. That's what he does best. 1st and 10 from the 16.5-yard line. Ricard in motion. Henry's back in the backfield. Lamar Jackson under center. It'll be a handoff to Henry, who gets his running start up the middle for another first down. 12 yards for Derrick Henry. He is humbling the top-ranked defense right now. I mean, he's just getting that running start. Lamar's taking his time to give it to him, and he's finding the right cuts. He's getting down there. It's goal to go for the Ravens. And this Baltimore offense is starting to feel alive thanks to Derrick Henry, who's had 3 rushes of more than 10 yards, red zone touchdown percentage. The Ravens are first in the NFL. The Chargers are second at not allowing touchdowns in the red zone. Hand off to Henry again. There's a flag, but Henry charges up the middle for a Ravens touchdown. We'll see what the call is, but as it stands, the Ravens are up on the scoreboard. It's false start on Baltimore. Well, they might just do the same. It was a legal formation on Baltimore. My mistake. They might just do the same thing again. I mean, the King is rolling right now in this one. And what a run that was. Man, that was a good call, too. I got the rasp. The touchdown, Raven. You know that one. It hurts my throat, though. No, yeah, that was illegal formation. I see it. So 1st and goal from the 10. Now instead, this is a familiar position for the Ravens. Isaiah Likely, Ricard, and Derrick Henry all in the backfield with Lamar. And it'll be a handoff, and it'll be a design draw to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson gets the edge. 1 man to beat. Touchdown, Baltimore. And Lamar says, who needs a running back? I'm him. And Lamar cashes in on a 10-yard rushing touchdown for Baltimore, 10-6. And knowing Justin Tucker, and then again, he hasn't been on his best. I mean, the entire defense looked at Henry, and Lamar only had 1 man to beat, and he just says, see you next Tuesday, as he sends the defender flying for a Ravens touchdown. Great job by Lamar Jackson, putting on the brakes, getting in the end zone. 7 plays, 70 yards, 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Welcome back to the football game, Baltimore. Justin Tucker's extra point is right down the middle. 10-7. Lamar starting to feel the offense rolling a bit more here in LA. As both quarterbacks are now responsible for a rushing touchdown in this game. As Lamar and Derrick Henry saying, who needs the passing game? I don't even know what that word means. That's kind of been the Ravens season. Thank you. I think it's a good one. It's just been run after run for Baltimore, and the occasional pass, and they tend to pass more as they get closer to the red zone. But towards that middle of the field, that's where Derrick Henry starts to roll on over you. Henry's got 1,185 yards ahead of this one, and Lamar has 584. They have almost 2,000 total rushing yards as a team, and I feel like they've already surpassed that. They almost have 3,000 passing yards on offense, and the Ravens, they're starting to get moving. That's a nice little drive they just put together. The Chargers still lead by 3. But we'll see. Mufasa. I'm not interested in seeing the live action Mufasa, personally. Mostly because it won't have James Earl Jones. Sad. He won't have the voice. Moment of silence for James Earl Jones. Yeah. We miss him. The iconic voice of Darth Vader and Mufasa. Passed away earlier this year. Very sad. On a lighter note, Lamar looked great on that drive. He only threw 1 completed pass. It went for 16 yards. But phenomenal job by Derrick Henry, 6 carries, 57 yards. And suddenly the Ravens are going back to the basics. And I mean, John just knows that to beat his brother, you gotta go back to the basics. That's the kind of team they run. And that's exactly what he did. He's like, you know what? The passing game didn't work on the first 2 drives. Let's go back to Ravens football. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball again. And it's working out so far for Baltimore. 10-7, the Chargers have the lead, and we'll get the ball back here in Southern California, SoFi Stadium, the shared stadium between the Chargers and the Rams. Though, if I'm being honest, SoFi Stadium has always represented the Chargers so much better. as we see the Goodyear view from SoFi Stadium. As they're putting stuff up on the ceiling. It's a beautiful stadium. I would love to go one day there in Southern California. Beautiful, beautiful stadium. 7:48 to go here in the first half. Justin Tucker to boot it off. Back to Justin Herbert. This one will soar and result in a touchback. Dynamic kickoff has been uneventful. Designing success. Chargers have moved their offensive tackles around. You see the center and left guard move over to get Dobbins some running room, quickly getting to the left level, showing some of that O-line speed. Again, the left guard, he's getting blocks. Not Hayden Hurst, the other tight end, the good one. Will Disley gets open. So it's just the illusion that they're going to try and run. They're going to run the ball because they're showing the same looks. They're going, we're running the ball. We're sending two of our linemen over. They only send one of them over when it's not. And the Ravens are falling for it. Blitz coming from Humphrey. They have it to Davis, and Davis will be taken down after a gain of 1. I believe that's his name. I said it's like Darian Davis. Chargers with ties to John Harbaugh's Ravens. Joe Hortus, the general manager, Greg Roman, Andy Bischoff, Mike Devlin, Jesse Minter, Mark Trestman, Sam Hustafer, Hayden Hurst, Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, and Bradley Bozeman all worked under or for John Harbaugh on this Chargers team. I mean, it's basically the Ravens, which is why this game is so competitive and why this game is going to be so good. And we're here for it. It's going to be a great game. 2nd and 9 after the failed play, thanks to the Marlon Humphrey blitz. The Chargers rush 5. Herbert under pressure, has to roll to his left. He'll throw on the run. He's got a man. It's a first down for the Chargers. It's Jesse. His name's Palmer. I keep thinking Jesse Palmer, but I don't think that's his name. Oops. It is Palmer. Maybe it is Jesse Palmer. Joshua Palmer. I mean, it's California. There's palms everywhere. 1st and 10 coming up for the Chargers from their own 40.5-yard line. Marlon Humphrey comes down on a blitz. They'll hand it off to Edwards, who's wrapped up for a gain of 0. 6:25 to go till halftime. The way they're moving, the Ravens will get at least one more shot, no matter what, especially with their 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. The Chargers this season have a positive 92 first half point differential, the second best in the NFL. Jesse Works has a ring to it. It's the name of a person. It's a real person. Also used to be a player, Jesse Palmer. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, that's not right. He used to play for the Cardinals. For a 2nd and 10 coming up for the Chargers. Herbert drops back to pass. Pressure coming. He dodges one, and he'll dump it off to Will Disley, who gets 9 to get to about midfield. 3rd and 1. No, yeah, Jesse Palmer, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to fact check myself real quick before I say anything further. Bear with me. Let me fact check myself. But I'm 99% sure I know mostly everything about him. He's from Toronto. I honestly didn't know that. 3rd and 1, handoff to Dobbins, and Dobbins is stuffed. 4th and 1 at the 49-yard line, not getting the first down. There is a flag. Jim Harbaugh is calling face mask. I was wrong. Jesse Palmer played for the Giants. I knew that. Jesse Palmer played for the Giants. He's a commentator now. That's why I know him more commonly from. He's holding on the Chargers, so they won't get the opportunity to get off the field. It was Tucker Fisk. So they thought it was face mask, but they're saying, nope, that was in fact holding. Pretty blatantly obvious on Kyle Van Noy there. So Fisk holds Van Noy. So the Ravens will accept the penalty, bring up 3rd and 11 for the Chargers. And 3rd and 11 to go. Yeah, Jesse Palmer works alongside Joe Tessitore for college football. Herbert looks to throw. He's got McConkey, and McConkey gets about 7. That won't be enough. Brings up 4th and 3 or 4. So the Ravens will get them off the field with 4.5 minutes to go before halftime. So the way the Ravens offense are moving, they might actually be ahead going into halftime. And they get the ball first. I mean, in less than 10 minutes, this game has turned from being 10-0 and the Ravens offense floundering to, after that last drive, people are looking at 21-10 before the Chargers can even see the light of day again on offense. And the punt coming from J.K. Scott. How many people were impressed that I got the name of the punter right in the first place? And a good Chargers bounce at the 8-yard line with the Baltimore Ravens will start their drive. I'm pretty impressed that I knew the name of the punter. J.K. Scott is the punter. I'm very impressed with myself. I know everybody. I know J.K. Scott. I knew his name. The Ravens punter is, bear with me. I think, if it's the same person, it was the German guy. If it's the same person, I don't think it's the same person. But the guy, I know him. I know it was Koch, but it might be Stout. I feel like Stout went to Baltimore. Let me check. It's either Koch or Stout. It took me a minute to remember his name, but I think it's Stout. Oh, nice. Let's go. It's Jordan Stout. Jordan Stout. That's right. They drafted a punter. Everyone was like, what are they doing? They drafted a punter in the 4th round and people went crazy. It's the only reason I remember. I'm like, I feel like Stout was with the Ravens. I remember that because once Koch went out, they had to get a punter and they decided to draft unnecessarily early for a punter instead of getting more talent. And they got Jordan Stout. Just let go of me. All right, here we go. You can kind of see it. There. Now they're still a part of it. I brought them back. So much tape. All right, the Steelers are back. How about the Steelers? Our resident Steelers fan. Here to watch their team completely destroy me in a battle between its lack of working with tape. Lamar Jackson under center from their own 7-yard line. Handoff to Derrick Henry. Henry hit early, but still plows ahead for 5 yards. That's one of the things about Derrick Henry is that once you hit him in the backfield, he's not just going to go down. He's not just going to fall down and say, that's it for me. He's just going to run through. He's just going to run through you. It's not it's only entertaining for you. This is a professional commentary. 3:25 to go here in the first half. I formation, Andrews in motion. Jackson will hand it back off to Henry with a running start. Henry will get 4 yards, 3rd and 1. What do you call here if you're Harbaugh? Do you stick with your hot hand or do you try to pass the ball? We'll see. We'll see whether they take Henry out of the game. They'll leave him in. So there's a good chance he's either blocking for somebody or he's running the ball himself. I would not be opposed to running the ball himself. I mean, that's a 300-pound running back with legs of steel. And they'll hand it off to Henry. And his legs of steel won't be enough. The Chargers will hold the Ravens to 4th and 1. What a great job by the Chargers D-line. Tuli Pelotu on the stop. How about it? Tuipulotu. They're going for it on 4th and 1. Okay, that guy totally just crossed the imaginary black line. Like, what? They're trying to draw him offside. They're calling an audible. They're just taking it to the 2-minute warning. I didn't notice how much time they had. 2:06 and the Ravens. And the Chargers are letting them hear it as they are getting hyped up heading into the 2-minute warning. The Ravens are going to punt it away, and the crowd is electric for the Chargers as the Chargers defense holds strong against King Henry. The legs of steel, not enough for 1 yard. And the Chargers will lead by 3 at the 2-minute warning, 4th and 1 from their own 20-yard line coming up after the 2-minute warning. Would you consider the Steelers bag falling our spooky event, even though it's not October anymore? Would you consider that the spooky event? I feel like now we need something else. Like the merriest. What was the merry event? Since Christmas is coming up, we're just going to skip Thanksgiving like most people. So what was our merry event? We can either pick merry event or we can pick spooky event for now. I think spooky probably is belonging to the Steelers bag, but I don't know about merry. What do we think about merry? Merry, like MERRY. Maybe it just doesn't like you. Well, no, that would be you not liking me. No, you wouldn't be here if you didn't. The Chargers lead by 3. The Chargers have largely dominated this game, except for with the exception of that one drive by the Ravens, which resulted in Derrick Henry just plowing forth a path for Baltimore to get first down after first down into the end zone. Was Lamar Jackson. The merry event was you buying it, but that was like a week and a half ago. I bought it like right after my last live stream, just like forever ago. It was forever ago. Speaking of Italians, we had an Italian take the stage in New York. Well, yeah, it was in New York. We got to see Tommy Cutlets and his agent. Mostly his agent, because Tommy Cutlets doesn't sound like this. Tommy Cutlets sounds like this. I'm Tommy Cutlets. How's it going? But then there's his agent. You know, Tommy ain't open for questions right now, but he will be soon. Tommy Cutlets had a grand old time in this one. Not really. He was hit more than any other quarterback this Sunday, and Baker Mayfield mocks him with and Lamar Jackson goes forward for a quarterback sneak. Does he get it? No, it was Derrick Henry who ran it. I don't think he got there. We'll see. They're calling it a first down for now. The Ravens have to get up on the ball and snap it. It was Mark Andrews under center, actually. Oh, that looked like a first down. A lot of pushing to see who gets where. It looks like the refs thought he had it 1st and 10. Throw it before Jim can throw the challenge, and they'll get the snap off. Lamar will design keep it because that's the first play in their playbook, and he'll be taken down for a loss of 1. So 2nd down and 11. So very fast-moving play there. And the Ravens, this is a bad sign for the Chargers. J.K. Dobbins is walking into the locker room. I will keep you updated on that one as I get more news. J.K. Dobbins heading in the locker room, not a good sign. Justice Hill on the dump off will get about 10 or 11 yards back, 3rd and short coming up for the Ravens. Another 3rd and short. The Ravens really want to score. They're not using their timeouts. They're being very conservative here. The Chargers do not seem to be set up quite right. And he'll throw underneath to Zay Flowers, who tries to make a move. Zay Flowers into the open field, the 40, the 50, and he'll get out of bounds at the Baltimore 49-yard line. And Zay Flowers with the cutback, getting out of bounds, saving 3 timeouts with 37 seconds left and only half a field to go. It is a good accent, but that's his accent. I'm Tommy Cutlets. He just sounds like New York. He's what you think of when you think of New York. First and 10 for Baltimore. From their own 48-yard line, they did not give him a very generous spot. Lamar trying to get everything organized with 5 seconds, play clock winding down. 4, 3, 2, 1. He'll get it off. Lamar drops back deep. He'll throw deep, and he overthrows Rashad Bateman, but there's a flag. And the Chargers defender saying, that's on me, that's on me. It might not be PI, but it's definitely illegal contact. Let's see what the call is. And they will call pass interference on Christian Fulton, number 7. Let's see what it was. It looked a bit uncatchable, but maybe Rashad Bateman with that height of his might have been able. Oh, that was like the most awful pass interference. He's like, that was me. That was on me. Absolutely was. He grabs him around the waist and spins him around. The ball hadn't even come out yet. Like, that was a ridiculously bad pass interference penalty to get the Ravens 15 yards closer to their destination. 32 seconds to go. Lamar drops back deep. Under a bit of pressure, he unloads one. He's got Bateman. Bateman, touchdown! He caught it! The Ravens score through heavy pass interference. And the Ravens have scored with 24 seconds to go. And suddenly, the ball game is Baltimore's. And Fulton never turned his head, had his arms all over Rashad Bateman. And Lamar puts it in his chest. He could not have dropped that ball. A beautiful throw. Fantastic. Bateman just goes on a classic deep route, and Fulton just is all over him. And Lamar just drops the ball right in his chest. What a throw by Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens, with this extra point, it is up, and it is drilled. They're up 14-10 and get the ball first. How about Baltimore? What a play by Lamar and Rashad Bateman. And Fulton's just being a bad defender right now. The pass interference, and then he throws to Bateman again. It seems like they finally found the weak matchup on the Chargers defense. And Lamar just drills him. Like, I have not seen a pass land that perfectly. Like, the ball hit him here. Hit him right here. Like, he was stabbed by that ball through heavy contact. Bateman couldn't have dropped it. What a throw. Phenomenal play by Baltimore. He launched it so deep, and he actually came down with it. And suddenly the Ravens are rolling up by 4. Lamar, 19th straight game with a passing touchdown. That's the team's longest streak. This is a team that's had Joe Flacco. Seems to be a problem with the ball placement. Justin Tucker trying to work it out. John Harbaugh saying, I beat my brother again. Except this time he just beat his brother's defense. There's still 30 minutes and 24 seconds to go left in this game, and the Ravens are only up by 4. We have a good one as the offenses are starting to fly here. Chargers have 24 seconds and all 3 timeouts. Just saying. This game, this quarter even is not even over. It's not over. This game is still very much active. He could go all the way. Chris Berman's fastest 3 minutes if you're watching the game, but I don't recommend it. You just mute him and come on over here, although I'm not doing anything at halftime. So it's really hard to space out 12 minutes of nothingness. Herbert starts under center. Timeout Baltimore. It's been a total of 0 plays since the Chargers have gotten the ball, and Harbaugh wanted a timeout. So the Ravens will call their first timeout. I mean, hey, might as well. You have 3. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are your commentators for this one on Monday Night Football, but turn them off. Mute them. Come on over here. We don't need them anyway. All due respect to Joe Buck, one of the league's all-time great commentators. A lot of respect for him, but come on over here anyway. Gotta say, I have a lot more respect for them than I did the last Monday Night Football crew. The Lewis Reddick, whatever weird trio was doing it before. That was strange, to say the least. Justin Herbert starts under center. The D lineman in motion. Herbert looks deep, under pressure, rolls to his right. He's got room to run. He'll take it 7 yards and out of bounds. Took 7 seconds, got 7 yards. Not exactly what you want to be seeing if you're the Chargers. With the timeouts, you can run 4 or 5 more plays here. Quick plays, that is. He can't sit back there minding his own business forever. So J.K. Dobbins appears to have hurt his knee. That's what it's looking like. He hurt his knee when he was twisted up on the last drive, and he's out of the game for the time being. 2nd and 2. Herbert looks deep again. They're going for it all. Herbert launches, overthrows him. He actually had the man beat. And Harbaugh is saying, you should have had that. Jim, that is. Said, you should have had that. And he throws a deep incompletion. No good. And Palmer beat him too. Roman knew it. Roman knew that Herbert had him. If he had placed that any better, that would have been a touchdown. The Chargers would have taken back the lead in what has been a thrilling second quarter. We've seen 17 points scored in this quarter and pending 10 seconds. Herbert throws, and that is, I don't know. That looked out of bounds. They're going to want to look at this one. That was a tough call. Let's see. That's the catch. That is 1, 2. Yep, that is a successful catch. Good call. It was a bad angle from the camera. But Cameron Dicker is warming up. His career long is 59 yards. That was in week 7 against the Cardinals. So that's about 60 yards. They don't have to get much further. They have 7 seconds. Really wish they would put the marker that they would need to go to so that we could see it, but they're currently not. And another timeout called by Baltimore as John Harbaugh tries to get his defense set up. A little better. Herbert all smiles as he knows, I think we got him pinned, coach. I think we got him pinned. But there's 7 seconds. That's enough time for one play. Jim Harbaugh is ready for his timeout. Beast Herbert. How's he been a beast? See it. He's got a great sidearm so far. He's been incredibly accurate. The pump fake to Dobbins earlier in the game. He's done a great job of spotting reads, finding open receivers. He's had mostly great vision so far in this game, and he's done well evading pressure, knowing when to run the ball, knowing when to step up. He's had an incredible pocket presence so far in this game. Herbert really has been a beast. 1st and 10 coming up for the Chargers. 112 yards for Herbert and a rush touchdown, 12 of 17. From their own 49-yard line, Herbert looks deep. He's got 5 seconds. He delivers 3, 2, and Jim Harbaugh will get the timeout, and the Chargers will send out the field goal unit on Joshua Palmer's catch to the 30-yard line. So the Chargers are going to end up scoring before halftime. 24 seconds and a field goal. How about that? Every point counts in the Harbaugh. This battle of the bros. 2 Ravens players almost tipped it. It was just high enough to get that perfectly to Joshua Palmer. So out comes Cameron Dicker with 2 seconds in the final play of the first half. 52-yard attempt for Dicker. And the Ravens ice him. John Harbaugh is old-fashioned like that. He used two to try and change up the defense, and then the last one to ice the kicker. Might as well ice the kicker. That's why you got the timeouts. It's good use of them if you're John Harbaugh. Jim has only used 1. It's been a pretty clean timeout game. Not a lot of mistakes for either of these teams. The exception of those first 2 drives from the Ravens and the last drive from the Chargers. The Ravens have just been piling on points so far in this one. Here's the 52-yard attempt from Cameron Dicker. The snap. We're waiting. Snap's good. Holds good. Kick is nailed. 14-13. The Baltimore Ravens stormed back down 10, but then the Chargers with 24 seconds made it a 1-point game heading to halftime. This Harbaugh is looking competitive. It's looking really good. We've had quite the first half in this one, 14-13. It's looking like we're set up for a tight finish between these two AFC juggernauts and, of course, the Harbaugh brothers. And we'll see if J.K. Dobbins comes back into this game for the Chargers. Justin Herbert leading the way for L.A., while Derrick Henry is doing a fantastic job leading the running game for Baltimore. We'll be back in 12 minutes. Got to stay hydrated, so I'm going to make myself another drink, and then I'll be right back, and we'll talk some more sports or casual stuff until the game comes back. See you then. Bye-bye. Just for a few minutes. All right. I have essentially duct taped the Pittsburgh Steelers to the wall, similarly to how the Cleveland Browns did this Thursday. About time. It's not going. If it falls, there is something against me. Ooh, Dolphins Patriots highlights. Nice. Go Dolphins. That was like one play. Tommy DeVito and the Giants. Oh, Baker Mayfield. I'm taking it myself. I'm baking. Mayfield hitting him with the Italian celebrations. Mamma mia, I can't believe I scored another touchdown. The Bucks rolled in that game, 30-7. We're back here at halftime from SoFi Stadium, 14-13. We are at the half. We're just gonna stay here, chilling. I already got everything. We're just chilling. We're just gonna sit here, having a great time. Great game we have. Bound to have a fantastic finish. If you have any sports-related comments or queries, feel free to say them. Or if you have any questions about normal life stuff, I'm fine with that too. I don't like. If you want to talk about where I got the Steelers thing, sure, go ahead. If you want to talk about what I was doing on my trip that I left for so long, I went on an adventure. You can go check it out in the other channel section of the Exponential. It's under the name RSquared's Monday Morning Mayhem. That's the name of the channel. And there will be only 4 videos there. Those 4 videos will be what I was doing on this trip. If you've seen the video already, go ahead and put a like on this video, and the video itself is a great one. Don't forget to comment on it too, so that I know that you guys loved the content. It was a great fun. Hopefully I get to do it again very soon. I don't have the link in the chat this time. So just go to the other channel section of this channel. So you can push on the Exponential logo. It'll send you to my channel, other channels, and then you'll find RSquared's Morning Mayhem. You can watch the 4 videos, and then don't forget to subscribe, because you never know when there's going to be some more fun content coming out. That's my personal channel. That isn't the Exponential. The Exponential is a group project. This is something that there will, if ever the correct situation occurs, will be people on it. There's very specific trigger teams that could get someone on the call with us. Something almost happened, but I'm like, was this really big enough? I feel like everyone's going to mostly ignore this. It was a head coach firing in college, and I know someone who had some information, but I'm like, I don't really know if this is going to be great. It's just the X, Y, and Z team. Not a good team. Not a good college team as far as football goes. Probably not one that'll go very far in the future. But I do have a contact at that school that had news for me. He's like, hey, this guy's getting fired. I'm like, oh, really? And then I saw it on ESPN like a second later. Like, wow, you're so fast. Your notification came in faster. So I considered bringing him on, but then I'm like, would that really be interesting to talk about a team who's won like 1 game in college this year, about their new head coach or their old head coach getting fired? That's not huge news. Maybe if they hire a huge celeb, I'll bring him on board. Mike Vrabel is coming on Manningcast. Doesn't matter. I love Mike Vrabel, but it doesn't matter. Stay tuned over here. Mike Vrabel, one of the top 10 defensive head coaches that the league has seen in the past decade. I'm bold enough to say it. I mean, he was. People don't believe he was, but he was. Titans defense was elite for a long time. Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry, Kevin Byard. It was an elite defense for a long time. Then Simmons got older. Byard got traded last year. Harold Landry just keeps getting injured. Jeffrey Simmons is just old. He's still good. He's just old and doesn't have a whole lot of stock in him anymore. The second half starts in just over a minute here in LA. Just over a minute. Then we're back from SoFi Stadium. The Ravens get the ball first, up by 1 score. 1 singular point, 1 score. First half highlights brought to you by nothing. Los Angeles Chargers, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Harbaugh brothers and brothers alone. It started off with Herbert connecting with Ladd McConkey on a nice drive, and then Herbert saying, "I'm taking it myself." Touchdown Chargers to open the game. Then the Ravens, it was Derrick Henry, and then Lamar. My touchdown now. And Lamar then airs one out deep to Rashad Bateman, putting it where only you can catch it, and that's ingrained into your rib cage. The Ravens hold a 1-point lead, 14-13, going into the second half. All right, we're back. Welcome back to the third quarter. As you see on your screen now, it's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Go ahead and mute them and come on over here to the Exponential to listen to these professional commentators. All respect to Joe Buck, of course. Troy Aikman's good too. But the hesitation, Troy Aikman's pretty good too. He's better than most in the professional community. Although I still stand by the fact that Kevin Harlan and Trent Green are the best broadcasters. I love Kevin Harlan. He's got such a good voice, and the kick is muffed in the end zone, but he'll just take a knee. It doesn't matter. So out come the Ravens offense. 4th and 1 from their own 16-yard line. Aggressive much. Mark Andrews just takes it himself. Then 3rd and 2. They've done a great job on late downs. He just finds a spot to sit in the zone, and Zay Flowers makes some magic happen just with that amazing speed of his. Then Lamar steps up, launches a dime right into the chest of Rashad Bateman through heavy contact. That was their last drive on offense. 1st and 10 coming up for the Ravens. Jackson under center, Henry and Ricard in the backfield. Nearly I formation, just a little bit unaligned. Calling an audible. Doesn't like the look that the defense is giving him. Lamar trying to get everything in order. Play clock at 5, and there's a black screen. Lamar hands it off to Derrick Henry. Henry gets only 2 or 2.5 yards on the play. It's a bad time for the screen to just go black and then watch them switch cameras. John Harbaugh said, "I feel like we could just make it," when they went for 4th and 1 at their own 16-yard line. One of the boldest decisions you'll ever see made. Justice Hill on the screen, and justice will be served back the other direction as the Chargers defense says, "Not today." And that'll go for a loss of 1 or 2, bringing up 3rd and long for the Ravens. Hasn't stopped them before. It was a nice screen, but there was just not enough blocking from Mark Andrews there, as Hill just got swallowed up in seconds as the impressive speed off the edge of the Chargers, and there was 3 men on him within a matter of maybe 2 seconds. Play clock at 7. Lamar gets the snap off, drops back deep as if he's looking deep. Under pressure, he'll dump it off to Mark Andrews. Andrews makes one man miss to get the first down. Gain of 11 on the play. First down, Baltimore keeps the drive alive. The Ravens starting to slow down a bit. They were looking really flashy on offense for a bit there, but this start to this drive has been kind of slow. And then that little play there, just 11, just enough to get the first down, nothing more. It's like John is taking some of Jim's playbook tactics, just like, you know what, maybe we'll just take it slow. We'll just take it a bit slow. Mark Andrews is 3 targets and 3 receptions tonight for 29 yards. I formation, Henry's the back, and handoff goes to Henry. Henry gets about 3, maybe 4 on the play. Henry's been really good for this Ravens offense this year. He's been fantastic, one of the best. First half offense tonight, their first 2 drives, 8 plays, 20 yards. Their last 2 drives, 15 plays, 156 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I'm going to say second quarter Ravens are better. I think the second quarter Ravens are better. Ricard in motion, Henry in the backfield, Jackson under center. Handoff to Henry, blown up. Great defense by the Chargers. And it'll bring up 3rd and long. It's Teair Tart, the former Tennessee Titan and Miami Dolphin, nailing his former teammate. Cool poster on the right behind you. Yeah, it's really cool. I've had it for a bit now. It used to be in my room, but when we started getting all fancy with the background, like this one moved with me because back when I did like the shorts and stuff, it was also there. So now it's over here on the right of this setup, which is in a different room. So when we came back, we reorganized. Um, a little bit of movement early. Lamar scrambles to his right under a lot of pressure. He'll have to throw on the run, and he hits Zay Flowers. What a throw! First down, Baltimore. And Lamar, I thought that ball was soaring out of bounds, but somehow makes the connection with Zay Flowers. Rolls to his right. We'll see. That's a catch. 1-2. What a throw. And Lamar Jackson, for as bad as he was playing on the first two drives, he's been almost perfect on every cylinder on the second one. He avoids the traffic, rolls to his right, and just finds Flowers open. Great job by Flowers getting open in the first place, and an even better job making that connection. First and 10 from the 33-yard line of LA. Play action for Henry. Jackson looks deep, steps up in the pocket, under pressure. He'll throw on the run. He goes to the end zone. Overthrows it. It's almost intercepted. Almost intercepted. Should have had that. It's the same guy. Lamar wanted a penalty on something. All right, come back soon. Second and 10. He almost had him there. Oh, they wanted a bit of a penalty there. It might have been a penalty if he had picked it off, but it was Fulham again. Fuller. I'm forgetting his name. It's the guy who's been matched up on Fulton. It's the guy who's been matched up on Rashad Bateman all day long, 7-on-7. Man, I am allergic to the entire world. Lamar Jackson tucks it and runs, but the defense collapses on him. 3rd and 11 coming up for the Ravens. After the Chargers' defensive line just closes the gap that he thought was once there, it was Derwin James Jr. He is incredible. One of the best at his position of safety, right up there with Jesse Bates and Kyle Hamilton. Two of the best is right there, Derwin James. We have a matchup of top safeties in this one, Kyle Hamilton and Derwin James. Once upon a time, Kevin Byard would have also been categorized there, but he's slowly taking a step back as he's aged. Man, I miss Kevin Byard. The Titans were fun to watch last year, or a few years ago. And it's a dump down underneath to Zay Flowers, who tries to make some moves, but he's tripped up after a gain of about 5 or 6. So out comes JT. And no, I don't mean Justin Timberlake. I mean Justin Tucker. Here comes the Ravens kicker, who's been fantastic through most of his career. But this season, things have been a little haywire. 53 yards out, he missed. 56 yards out, he missed. 46 yards out, he missed. 50 yards out, he missed. He missed from 47. He's missed from 50 again. He's missed a lot of kicks, but he hasn't missed one that has been 45 or shorter. So here comes Tucker. Kick is nailed. Fire car, welcome in. 17-13. The Ravens hold the lead over the Chargers. He has missed a lot of kicks. Hey, welcome back. You changed your picture. I can't really see it, but ooh, Star Wars stuff. Nice. Like Star Wars? I like Star Wars. Star Wars, the Skeleton Crew. I mean, it's an interesting idea, but we'll see. We'll see how it works. Not sponsored by Disney Plus. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna watch it. Ooh, it's an IG. December 3rd. Cool. Your Saints have started to pick up the pace a little. Only a little. Didn't have anything to cheer for this weekend, though. But they had won their previous games against the Browns. Then they had beat the Falcons under Mr. I Clogged the Toilet. I'm sure you're happy with him as your interim head coach. Then the Saints go back against LA in a winnable game against the Rams, not this LA, the other LA. Optimism. Football's fans' worst nightmare, optimism. Yeah, I mean, you can't rule it out. I mean, you got the clogged toilet on your side. And you guys haven't been playing badly since Derek Carr's come back. Taysom Hill had a heck of a game a week ago against Cleveland, and they've just been all around pretty well rounded. They got the Rams, which is a very winnable game. Rams have not been at their best for a while now. Then they have the Giants, winnable, a floundering Commanders team in the middle of the falling off of the cliff. 1 second, report. Now will be without one of their best weapons. All right, so J.K. Dobbins is currently questionable to return with a knee injury, though he has not come out of the locker room. See ya. Come back. So out trots Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. And J.K. Dobbins has been a big part of this offense, to say the least, so far in this one. He's been one of their biggest weapons. But with him downed, it might take a little bit of creativity to get the Chargers' run game going with Gus Edwards. But you saw him sprinting on the sideline, trying to get warmed up. He was trying to get back in the game, but it's currently Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, questionable with a knee injury. Herbert under center. And it's a fake screen and a play action, and he'll end up going to his dump-off option. It's, wow, he is nailed by Harrison, the replacement for Roquan Smith. Was the tight end, 42. Fisk. It was a good dump-off, but for Fisk being that big of a guy, he got upended by there. Welcome back. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. 2nd and 3 coming up for the Chargers. Justin Herbert under center. It's Davey in motion. And Gus Edwards is dragged backwards several yards by Harrison, who's having a great time. He's having a good game as his replacement. Owen Wilson is also going to be on Manning Cast. Ignore him. Ignore Lightning McQueen. I'll have to go soon. Sad. All right. Gus Edwards tried to find a hole, and he just picked the wrong place. He ran at the biggest guy, and Harrison just pulls him back a solid 3 yards there. What? Math is not math. That's 5 yards. That's 5 yards. It says 2nd and 3, but that's 5 yards. Justin Herbert, pressure coming for Herbert. He gets his. He throws. He'll get one out towards Joshua Palmer. Herbert was hit hard as he threw that one. Not phased. Jim Harbaugh doesn't have his headset on. What is he doing? Even I have my headset on. He was probably arguing about the late hit there. Sure was a little late. It wasn't a hard hit, though. It was very soft landing. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Justin Herbert has 147 yards on the day, 15 of 20. Handoff to, I believe that's Hassan Haskins. I believe that's also a former Michigan alumni. It was Hassan Haskins. I believe it is. It's a Michigan alumni. So that's where Jim Harbaugh got the connection there. Justin Herbert outside numbers, 10,191 yards, 76 touchdowns, and a good completion percentage that I totally missed. 2nd in the NFL in the amount of time that he's been in the NFL. 2nd and 7. Coming up for the Chargers from the 49-yard line. Justin Herbert runs for about 6 yards, and he'll be taken down. There's a flag on the play, though. It's holding number 75 on the offense. Bradley Bozeman, the former Baltimore Raven. It wasn't even the Steelers' bag. What? Get out of here, Atlanta. They're ridiculous. Yeah, well, there was holding. There was, in fact, holding. I'll go get it on the next commercial. 2nd and 17. Herbert drops back to pass. Under pressure, he'll get it out. He throws a quick one to the sideline. It's Jalen Rieger. Go for 9 yards. Brings up 3rd and 8. Yeah, he really had nothing. That was his best option. I'm surprised he even threw that dangerous pass. He got lucky. Rieger made a nice catch. 3rd and 8. Chargers are 4 of 8 on 3rd down, 5.8 average to go. This is about right, yeah. Here they go. 3rd and long. Herbert, a free rusher in Wiggins, and he'll step up, and he delivers to Lad McConkey. And the lad is at the 35-yard line, where the Chargers will continue their drive. Great job by Herbert, feeling the pressure from Wiggins and getting the ball out in time. This is awesome. Lad McConkey made a great job getting in the open field. We'll fix this. I will get duct tape, and I will duct tape it to the wall. I will actually duct tape it to the wall. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Justin Herbert steps up in the pocket, and he'll be taken down for a loss of 1. It's been 10 minutes. Pretty long time. It's been 10 minutes, and the Falcons' bag fell. All right. I'll get them both on the next drive. I'm just going to get a really long piece of tape and just tie them throughout the entire thing. Stay! 2nd and 11 for the Chargers after the Herbert sack. And the Ravens have so many free rushers, and it's incomplete at the foot of number 4, Gus Edwards. Herbert hit hard, a little bit slow to get up after that one. He felt that hit from Marlon Humphrey. What a hit it was. I mean, they brought 6, and Humphrey was just home free. Humphrey didn't hit him that hard, but it looks like Herbert might have hurt his wrist on his way down. He landed pretty hard on that right wrist. See if it affects his throwing here on 3rd and 11, because they aren't running the ball. And the Ravens are showing pressure again. They only rush 4. Herbert throws to his right side, incomplete. That did definitely affect his throw. That was way off target for Herbert. So that'll either force Dicker on for a long field goal or a punt. I'm guessing a long field goal. A little bit of jawing going on between an official and some Ravens defenders. And it is Cameron Dicker. He made kicks from 42 and 52. This has to be 62, right? It's a 52-yard attempt, his second 52-yarder of the night. And Dicker, the kick is up, and it is dead center good. 17-16, it's still a 1-point game. The Chargers not going away here in the Harbaugh Bowl as the Ravens only lead by 1. Chargers put together a nice drive, couldn't finish it off. Herbert's wrist looking a little crunched in between the floor there. Give me 1 second so I can try and put stuff back during the commercial. Oh, all right. I'm not even quite sure why it felt like. The tape's still here. The tape's still on. Why did the bag fall? Okay. Everything's fine. I have plenty of tape. My life is tape now. My life is tape. All right. Here we go. Even this out a little better. Stay. Might not even get a chance to put the Steelers one back. It's got so much tape still on it. This is preposterous. Back there. That worked. Still checking every few seconds to see if the game's returned at all. It'll stick so I can get more tape. This bag sucks. Alright. And I totally messed up that piece of tape. Wow. Okay. They're back from SoFi Stadium with this one last half-hearted attempt to keep the Steelers bag taped. That's it. That's the best we can do. If it falls, it falls. All right, here we go. Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh was the assistant head coach for the Eagles, while Jim Harbaugh was the Raiders quarterback coach. First matchup was 49ers Ravens on November of 2012, and then February 3rd of 2013 was their Super Bowl matchup. John's 2-0. So he's got the winning record of the Harbaugh, but maybe Jim can turn the tides. First and 10. Lamar rolls to his right under a lot of pressure. Oh, he's sending players flying and somehow completes the pass to Charlie Kolar, I believe that was. But wow, T.R. Tart just... Who's the flag now? I'm so done. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Lamar just said T.R. Tart flying, saying, no, you're not going to sack me. It's almost impossible to sack Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry, first time we've called his name in a while, gets about 3 yards. The flag bothers me more because I like the flag. Oh, please. Please to stop. And that will bring up 4th and 1 after a failed rush by Derrick Henry, which could force the Ravens to punt. We'll see. Harbaugh's pondering. Khalil Mack on the stop there. Great job by Mack. It was actually Lamar on the carry, and Mack made a nice play, tackling him in the open field. They're going for it again. 4th and 1. Hand off to Henry. Henry just walks through and gets more. Derrick Henry to the 40, the 35, and he's not being taken down to the 34-yard line. Derrick Henry on 4th and 1. What a run by the King. He just runs through the Chargers defense, and then a little stiff arm action at the end saying, get off me. And he goes at it for a nice pickup, and of course a Ravens first down, and Baltimore is back to driving. Hand off to Henry, and Henry just finds holes, and then just being a mean runner. That was an incredibly mean rush. Hand off to Justice Hill. Hill gets about 3. There are multiple flags. Oh, never mind. One of them was the Chargers cleat. There's one flag. It's going to be against Baltimore. We're waiting for the call from Carl Sheffers. Why can I hear something falling? Holding number 65 of the offense, Patrick McCarry. I did that from lip reading. It's cool. Never been very good at that part. So yeah, just 146. 140 here to go in the third quarter. Ravens lead by 1. Lamar drops back to pass. Throws overhead. He's got number 16, Nelson Aguilar, I believe. Nope, Tylan Wallace. So Tylan Wallace. My setup is falling apart. Nice job by Tylan Wallace. Making a nice move at the end there to get the extra 5 yards. Second and 4. Lamar under center. Hand off to Henry. No gain. Third and 4 coming up. Good job by Poona Ford. Poona Ford stopping the rush there. So I'm blocking most of it anyway, so we're just going to leave it blank. I'm tired of taping stuff. Focus on the game. Third and 4, 30 seconds. The Ravens have to run one more play before the fourth quarter. It's Poona Ford's first season with the Chargers. It's his third team in 7 seasons. He's an undrafted free agent out of Texas. He was really good in Seattle, and he's been pretty impactful here in LA as well. It's a play action to Henry. Under a lot of pressure, dumps it off to Flowers, who extends for the first down, but he fumbles. Looks like it was down. That was actually Rashad Bateman. We'll see what they say the call is. Regardless, it's the end of the third quarter. But did he go down there? That is short. It'll be 4th and inches. He was already down by the time the ball came out, so it's not a fumble. It is a 4th down, and the Ravens will face in the fourth quarter up by 1. 17-16, we got a good one. Don't go anywhere, folks. Here on the Exponential. These flags and these things, they frustrate me. I'm going to set them up so they're kind of visible. That'll take me like 2 seconds. Hey, the Dolphins play the Packers on Thanksgiving. Don't remind me. You can see the logo. We'll get Atlanta. Atlanta's still up there. Okay. And maybe we can use the tape that's already up here. No, because then we'll block Atlanta. Ugh, all right. It's a lot harder to put up a flag when it's just one person. I like the flag, so I'm giving it one chance. It's not going to work, but whatever. No, yeah, it's not going to work. So what should I do with the flag? I'll just drape it back there. You can see it, kind of, if I move out of the way. All right. Please do feel free to comment if you have any sports-related comments or queries in the live chat. If you don't have any sports-related ones, I'm fine with just questions and queries. A really comfortable chair. I wish my chair had a back. I'm supposed to be alternating. We're standing, folks. We're standing. Nice. We are standing. No glare this time. We fixed the lighting issue. I think this has been a pretty good live stream so far. Gotta say, I'm happy with how everything, technologically speaking, is working and placement working. As far as the background, it's because I set it up like 10 minutes before I didn't add enough tape. or glue for that matter. I need glue to get the bag to stick. Fancy desk, thank you. It's not my desk. I stole it. That's a glare. We'll just move the desk up a bit. And the Ravens, there's a lot of confusion over whether Henry got the first down. The refs say he did. The Chargers say he didn't. The Ravens say he did. That's 2 out of 3, and it'll be a Ravens first down. As Henry, one push is all he needed. He just needed to extend his body out a little bit to get the first down. He does a nice job just lunging over. Let's see. That's a first down. Great job by King Henry. 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. It's Baltimore. It's Flowers in motion, I believe. And it'll go to Flowers on the screen. Flowers will get about 4 yards on the play. Second and 6, 14 minutes to go here in the game. Ravens lead by 1 deep into Chargers territory. We are really setting up for a thrilling finish, folks. Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator of the Chargers, trying to work something out against Greg Roman, the OC for the Baltimore Ravens. 2nd and 6. Hand off to Henry. Henry charges forward to the 10-yard line. He's down at exactly the 10. I thought he was going the distance there. Good job stopping the touchdown there by the Chargers D. Could have been so much worse. Yeah, great job by Henry finding the holes. Oh, man, what a crucial tackle there. Henry could have gone the distance if he had broken that one tackle. I formation for Baltimore. Handoff goes to Henry again. Henry breaks through one tackle, can't break through the second, gets about 3 or 4, tripped up. 2nd and goal. It was Still who made the tackle. Still made a great tackle there, getting his ankle and just not letting go until his teammate could come and help pick up the stop. Derrick Henry has 114 rushing yards in this one. Wow, okay. 2nd and goal. Expect a Lamar Jackson run here. Maybe he might throw. He's throwing. Lamar Jackson looks under pressure, rolls to his right, then steps forward. He is running. I was wrong. No, he's passing. He's running. What is he doing? And he throws incomplete. He should have just ran. That's what he's good at. 3rd and goal for the Ravens. 12:36 to go here in the game. Ravens ticking the clock on 3rd and goal. He had Flowers in the end zone. It was tipped. Ooh, he saved a touchdown there. Great job by Molden. Yep, Molden saved the touchdown. Touchdown on 11 straight drives inside the opposing 10-yard line for Baltimore. This would be 12 if they can cash in here. Lamar, under pressure, picks up the blitz, throws to the end zone. No, what? Excuse me? And they're saying 4th and goal, but I thought for sure that was a touchdown. Let's see it on the route that time. On the replay. What did he see? That should have been a touchdown. I saw a touchdown. And the ruling on the field is a touchdown. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews. I'm not sure what the far side referee was seeing, but that is a touchdown for the Ravens. He's incomplete. What do you mean incomplete? Like, that was a clean catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson to Mark Andrews. Ref, it's no good. I could see that, and we had the sky view. The ref was standing right there. I don't know what the referee was seeing to make him think that was completion. They're going for 2. As John Harbaugh saying, we want it all or nothing. Lamar rolls to his right. Under pressure, can't find anything. Looks to his left. Flings it in, incomplete. Through the hands of both Bateman, Flowers, and a few Chargers. And they're only down by 7 now, so a risk by John Harbaugh. So Jim catches a break. It's only a touchdown difference. Bye-bye. Welcome back, Firecar. And so the score from Andrews makes it 7. Right? Yeah, it makes it a 7-point game after the missed 2-point conversion. That is a tough one for Baltimore. I mean, it was a risky decision, but I mean, it could have paid off and it could have set them up by 2 scores. I think it was a good choice ultimately. I mean, they're gonna if they lose by 1 point, that's gonna be why. Like people are gonna say, "Oh, John made the wrong choice making that call." You can't say that. I think it was the fair choice to make. He tried to make it a 2-score game. Now it's just a touchdown game, but you never know. They might miss the extra point. It's happened before a few times. So let's take a look at some of the games that we have upcoming next week. It's Thanksgiving. Yay! I'm not looking forward to Thanksgiving because the Dolphins are playing the Green Bay Packers to close out Thanksgiving in Green Bay in temperatures below freezing, and the Packers are coming off their biggest win of the year. I'm taking the Packers in that one. I'm taking the Lions over the Bears, and then the Giants and the Cowboys flip a coin. Honestly, both should lose, but I'm taking Dallas. I'm thinking the Cowboys go 5-7 by some miracle. Taking Dallas over the Giants. Black Friday. It's about time a team that actually wears black on a normal basis, not the Jets. The Raiders against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs over the Raiders in that one, even though it's a divisional matchup. Gardner Minshew's out, so it'll be Desmond Ridder or Aiden O'Connell starting in that one. I'm taking Kansas City over Las Vegas. Indianapolis takes on New England. I think it's about time the Patriots catch a break. I'm taking Drake May over Indy. Pittsburgh takes on Cincinnati. I think Pittsburgh hands Cincinnati a tough loss, which really boosts the Dolphins' playoff chances. So I'm taking Pittsburgh over the Bengals. Chargers take on the Falcons in Atlanta. I'm taking LA. Give me the Chargers. Seahawks take on the Jets. I'm taking the Hawks over New York. And that one, just a big fan of the Seahawks. It has nothing to do with how much I hate the Jets. The Texans take on the Jaguars. The Texans lost a tough one. They're going to come out with an enraged spirit, quite frankly, and I'm taking the Texans over the Jaguars. Cardinals take on the Vikings. That's a good one, but I'm taking the Vikings in a close one. Titans, Commanders. Give me the Commanders. They can't fall off the cliff that badly. That'll go for a touchback, so the Chargers will start their drive from the 30-yard line. Taking the Bucks over the Panthers to go to 500. The Rams and Saints game could be very close. I think I'm going to take a risk and pick the Saints for the first time. I've been wrong I wasn't wrong last week, but I was wrong the week before that about who I picked. I'm taking the Saints again. I think the Saints are going to beat the Rams. Eagles, Ravens, big-time game for Baltimore against Philadelphia. And you know what? Philly does not have to win this one. I went through the math. You can check out the VOD of last week's live stream, which was Eagles and Commanders, and I spent an entire quarter going through how important a win would be for each individual team. The Commanders kind of need to win out after this, so they need a win this next week against the Titans, and the Eagles just need to win basically either the game against Baltimore or the game against Pittsburgh. And, they don't have to win against Baltimore, but I think that they will. I'm taking Philadelphia. I'm wearing green. So you know what? We're taking the Eagles. Sunday night football. 49ers and Bills. That's where we're supposed to be next week. But nothing's particularly set in stone because they could be without Brock Purdy. If Brock Purdy plays for the 49ers, that's the game we're commentating on. If he doesn't, then we might shift over to Monday Night Football to see the Broncos win against the Browns. Just for fun. But most likely it'll be 49ers Bills regardless, but not set in stone. So I'm definitely taking Buffalo no matter what. I'm taking the Bills. Much as I don't like them, Buffalo's going to win that one. Broncos and Browns. Who else could you pick? I'm taking the Broncos. Broncos country. Let's ride. Although I would like the Broncos to lose, I don't believe they will. So I'm taking the Broncos. Yeah, so the Dolphins aren't in an ideal position, to say the least. They got the Bengals, the Colts, the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Bengals to deal with. Bengals are going to go with a loss. The Chargers have a tough game. Maybe they lose to Atlanta. I feel like they might lose this one. They lose this one. If the Chargers win this, they're safe and the Ravens are on the chopping block. This is kind of like a which team is in the playoffs kind of game. Like, I know it doesn't seem like it, But I mean, as it comes down to it, this could very well be a tiebreaker. I think the Ravens, if the Ravens win this one, they might just be safe from the wild, safe from playoff elimination. It's 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. I formation. Herbert under center. The D lineman, it's a fake shovel, and Herbert's under pressure, and he throws one laterally to Gus Edwards, and a dangerous play as Kyle Hamilton comes in like a missile behind the sticks. So 2nd and longer than it should be. It was a bad choice by Herbert. It was a lateral. What a catch by Gus Edwards. That could have been a disaster. And Kyle Hamilton hits him like a jet. I mean, the speed on Hamilton on that one, I'm surprised Edwards managed to hold on to that one. 2nd and 17, a loss of 7 on that play. Got the tight end in motion. Herbert in shotgun. Play action to Edwards, drops back to pass. Herbert looks underneath. He's got the tight end. That's what's his name? Will Dissly, former Seahawk. I'm gonna sit back down. I'm old. 3rd and 6. Will Dissly's first season with the Chargers, spent his first 6 with the Seahawks. Is a career high 390 receiving yards this season. He's been good. 23-16. The Ravens have the lead. Just over 11 minutes to go here in the game. Chargers at their own 39-yard line. 3rd and 6. Herbert looks deep, steps up, rolls to his right, throws on the run, and it is incomplete. There's a flag. 2 flags. 3 flags. It's just pass interference. And there's definitely a call there for PI on the Ravens. I mean, that's when you know it's bad, when every single referee, no matter where they are on the field, throws a flag. I'm thinking it's pass interference. He was early. Then again, on that move, he didn't make a whole lot of contact. He was there really early. He did turn his head back. There's pass interference. Oh, there's holding on the Chargers. And they offset, bringing back to 3rd and 6. It was heading to Joshua Palmer. There was pass interference, but there was a holding on the Chargers, which negates it. It's back to 3rd and 6. Trey Pipkins III with the critical holding mistake there. That was not a smart move. Yeah, he held. He's grappling onto him. Great job by the defensive lineman attracting attention. It was pass interference, but I mean, the Ravens survived. 3rd and 6. Dissly in motion. Ravens showing blitz. They rush 5. Herbert throws, and it's dropped by Quentin Johnston. Johnston would have had the first down and more, but he drops it, and the Ravens D will get off the field. And the Chargers fans, heads in their hands after Johnson you got to catch that. It was a good throw, too. He just drops it. Yeah, he's not going to forget that one for a while. That's going to be something he wants back. He's got no receptions in this one, 2 targets. That was when he had to catch. Excuse me. It's not that it's a boring game. It's just that it's really late. 4th and 6 coming up for the Chargers, which would mean it's going to be a punt. No trickeration. This is the Harbaugh. They're not tricky like that. And that ball bounces out of bounds at about the 30-yard line or so, depending on the spot. Monday Night Football. The Chargers frustrated after a dropped pass. All right, I will be back. Must use the restroom. I'll be right back. So fast. That's crazy. I beat the commercials. And I had stayed for like 2 commercials. All right. I could kind of use a haircut, honestly. I mean, it's not the longest it's been, but it's only been like a few weeks since I gotten a haircut. But I probably should get one soonish. Otherwise, you're going to see my long hair. It's crazy to believe it. If you could believe it. Can't really. It looks much better shorter. I like it better shorter, but we'll see. Need to plug in stuff while I wait for the game to come back on. Fantasy recap. Single game franchise records for Saquon Barkley, as he had a fantastic game. Lamar drops back to pass. He looks deep. He'll throw up the middle to Mark Andrews for 9 yards. So Saquon had an absolutely ridiculous game last night. Like I was in shock because I was playing against him in fantasy. I was up 80% chance of victory the day before. And then I looked back the next day and I was down to only 10% chance. This is today. I was down to 10% chance. Like, what? What did I miss? What could I have possibly missed? And then I look at the fantasy thing. Saquon Barkley, 52 points, 255 yards on the ground, and 2 touchdowns. Ridiculous. 2nd and 1 coming up for Baltimore. Handoff to Derrick Henry. Not going to get there. 3rd and 1 coming up yet again for Baltimore. These 3rd and short situations have been a plenty for the Ravens so far in this game. But if they can get a touchdown here, it might just seal the game for the Ravens. Another player who had a huge fantasy standout was Tua Tagovailoa's 4 touchdowns for the Dolphins. Fins up. Let's go, Miami. A great job by Tua. He had a great game. He was dissecting that New England defense very carefully, very methodically. Fantastic game for Miami. So Tua and Saquon were the 2 big names in fantasy. Handoff to Henry, who tries to get the edge. He'll hit him with a stiff arm. That's what we came here to see. And Derrick Henry with the stiff arm says, "You're not getting me down yet." I mean, wow. Look at how mean the stiff arm is. He gets around the edge. He's blown up immediately. Get down. 1 stiff arm. Sit down. 2 stiff arms. And the first down. I mean, it takes 2 stiff arms to get a first down. But that second one, whew, get out of here with that. Derrick Henry's just a strong dude. I would not want to see him anywhere, like just standing there menacingly. And it's a design draw for Lamar Jackson, gets about 4 yards. 2nd and 6 or 7, depending on the spot. Derrick Henry for the Baltimore Ravens has been huge. He's been finding holes. He started getting this offense running early in the game to start the 2nd quarter. He just had them rolling, and it just hasn't stopped since then. It's just been Henry running, and just not stopping. And then right there with a bit of that stiff arm action that we know him so well for. 2nd and 8. They give him 2 yards. That is not a generous spot at all. Lamar looks to his right. He'll throw a quick one to Zay Flowers for a gain of about 5. The Monday Night Football crew at 1 a.m. I don't know who these. What are they doing? They just having a photo shoot? Getting everything set up? Hey, one day. I'm going to be on the Monday Night Football crew. You just watch. Got the cameraman. No, I'm not going to be behind the camera. Zay Flowers in motion. Handoff to Justice Hill. Showing some of that speed. Justice Hill as a hole. The 40. The 30. It's a foot race. The 20. The 10. The 5. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justice has been served. 51 yards to the house. What a run by Justice Hill. And the Baltimore Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead. 7 minutes to go, and 13 points needed. There was an injured Charger at the end of that one. But Justice Hill, Flowers is in motion. And Hill just outspeeds the crowd with a great move. Oh, and then he slips on the turf. That's a non-contact injury. And Hill just turns on the speed. That's why he's the speedster. Derrick Henry's strong and he might be fast, but Justice Hill is much faster than Derrick Henry. I know that's hard to believe, but this running back unit is elite for the Ravens. That was a phenomenal run by Justice Hill. And the Ravens are up by 2 touchdowns. And Baltimore is taking a commanding lead. Justice Hill seems to score every time I'm commentating on the Ravens. That's a career long for Justice Hill. 51-yard rush touchdown. I'm liking the justice has been served call. I've said that now maybe 3 times since I've commentated this year. I've been on the Ravens a few times this season, 3 times. I think this is the 3rd time. I think he scored on every single one. The Ravens have scored on 5 consecutive drives. Here comes Justin Tucker for the extra point. I'm not saying anything about Justin Tucker. I will not do it twice in 2 weeks. Extra point is up and it is nailed. Nice. 30-16. The Ravens hit the triple marker. 30-16. The Ravens are in control. And Justice Hill says, "You want Balta? Well, I'll give you the more." 30-16. Ravens keep on scoring more as the Chargers are down big. And this has kind of been the offense that I've been looking for when I commented on games. Haven't seen a whole lot of it. I keep getting really unlucky with offense. We had a bit of a defensive stalemate last week until the 4th quarter where the Eagles scored like three touchdowns in the span of 7 minutes. Then the week before that, we didn't commentate. Yeah, sorry about that. Broncos Saints was ridiculously awful. Sorry, fire car. But ridiculously awful game. Bills Jets has been the best one we've had. Bills Jet, the highest score we've seen is 33 from the Broncos, but the best game was Bills Jets. And this one, the Ravens might actually crack that top offensive number that we've seen so far. Actually, no, that's not true. They had a ton of points against Buffalo. Way back when they smoked the Bills. When did we have the Bills? Week 4? Yeah, they smoked the Bills 35. That was the highest offensive output, but combined score, this is definitely up. I think this is the highest combined score as it is. Black Friday football, the Raiders taking on the Chiefs. Chiefs not wearing red, but the Raiders sure are. The Chiefs are not wearing black, but the Raiders sure are. So the Raiders are undoubtedly going to be donned in black, maybe even all black. That would be kind of fun. As the Raiders take on the Chiefs. As the red door will be painted black. If you know the reference, you know the reference. So the Raiders try to paint the red door that is the Chiefs black. It's not going to happen. Have I heard something mysterious? So the Ravens, Lamar Jackson has suddenly turned on the steam. 16 of 22 for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's also got a rushing touchdown on the game. His fantasy output's been pretty good, I'm happy to say, because he is my last hope for beating the Saquon Barkleys. And this is a returnable for the first time for the Chargers. And it's a nice return to the 30. He's only got one man to beat, and he can't beat the kicker. Justin Tucker with the tackle. Justin, how about it? JT making tackles? Good return there, though. Flashback. Justin Tucker, November 24th, 2011. Why is this a flashback? It's good. Texas, Justin Tucker defeated Texas A&M 27-25 on the walk-off kick from Tucker. And then Justin Tucker says, I can tackle. I'm basically a cornerback. 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Justin Herbert drops back to pass. They need an offensive surge. He throws, and it's complete to McConkey. And there's a flag on Humphrey without a doubt. They're saying that he is incomplete. Good catch, though, by McConkey. I'm surprised he came down with it. Let's check fantasy. I'm not sure how I'm doing. I might be winning. Come on. I'm not winning. I'm almost winning. I need the Ravens to score one more touchdown with Lamar Jackson. So there was offsetting penalties there, I believe, or it was declined, one or the other. Yeah, it was declined. They called it a catch from McConkey. Let's confirm that was in fact a catch. That's the catch. One. No, that is incomplete. That is an incomplete pass. After review of the play, the pass was incomplete. Pass interference. Defense, number 44. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down. As I was going to say, I'm like, what? That was not a completed pass. Yeah, no, not even close. He had an entire foot too far. Herbert looks deep. He launches deep. It's Palmer. Incomplete. Good defense by Wiggins. Bad throw. Palmer just couldn't spot the ball in time. 2nd and 10. 7:05 to go here in the game. Chargers down by 2 touchdowns. Palmer just couldn't track down the ball. 2nd and 10 coming up for LA. Herbert, he's got Haskins by his side, I believe. It is, in fact, Haskins. Herbert is sacked! And there was Herbert was absolutely nailed by Kyle Van Noy, who shot out of a cannon to get the sack. There is a flag. We'll see what it is. But Kyle Van Noy, where did he come from? Oh, wow. Just absolutely. Just one move, and then he just shoots out of a cannon to get past number 79. Nails Herbert in the backfield. That'll push him back past midfield, back into their own territory. It looks like they took back the sack. Kyle Van Noy had a career high last season, 9 sacks. He's already got 8 this year. 3rd and 18. They're no longer in field goal range. Not that a field goal would really help. This is 2-down territory. And Herbert just launches it deep. And wow. Oh my God. What? And he overthrew Palmer so severely. But they called pass interference on Stevens. Brandon Stevens is irate at the officials after that one. I am not sure he had a chance to catch that. Saying he had his arms around him is what Jim Harbaugh is saying. You can call illegal contact, but pass interference. He overthrew him by a lot. And they will not call pass interference. 4th and 18. Stevens gets away with one. I absolutely agree with that. There was no chance at catching that ball. Stevens turns his head back. He was playing the ball the entire time. He played the ball really well, and Herbert overthrew him. No, that was clean. Stevens looked, he was playing the ball. And actually, if anything, you could say that Palmer had an upper hand on Stevens because he used him as momentum. That was the correct call by the referees there. 4th and 18. Chargers are punting with 6:39 remaining. And that'll pin the Ravens deep at their own 8-yard line. 6:31 to go here in the game. Chargers down by 2 scores. Potentially controversial penalty, not penalty, should I say there. But I would say that I think that was clean. I never think he would have never gotten it, and Stevens was playing the ball the entire time. He was looking back the entire time. That is not pass interference in my book. I think that was the right call by the officials. Oh, French toast. I'm hungry. Nice. I love your colors, Popeyes. Teal and orange, or aqua and orange. Fantastic colors. Not sponsored by Popeyes, but good colors. Good color choice. And I'm really hungry now. Why would they show a food commercial at a time like this? It's part of that Thanksgiving charm. The Ravens lead by 14 and have the ball at their own 9-yard line. That was weird. It's a commercial about changing the HDMI level, and I'm like, what? I'm not changing the HDMI. I thought it changed from HDMI 1 to 2, but it's just whatever is happening on the whatever commercial this is for. What? Oh man, my eye, like my right eye, it's not. It hurts a bit. Not sure why, but it's been bothering me all day. Need a doctor. Not really. Hey, the TV's back on. So next week we're going to be in Buffalo for San Francisco and the Buffalo Bills. We'll see how. If Brock Purdy plays, the game has the potential to be much more interesting. If he doesn't, then things get a little more boring. You will absolutely not convince me to do a commentary on the Dolphins-Packers game. It's not going to happen. No, I think he was playing the ball the entire time. I don't think you can call that pass interference. He was looking back. He was playing the ball. It's a little bit. It was mutual hand fighting too. So it's not like you can say it was just him doing the interfering. There was hand fighting. Second down is the Ravens just winding the clock down by handing it off to their speedsters. The running backs. Derrick Henry got 5. Second half rush yards, the Ravens have 112. The Chargers have -6. They are missing J.K. Dobbins dearly in the second half. As Jim Harbaugh doing the classic Harbaugh stance of hands on the knees, crouched. Play clock winding down at 1. Snap gets off to Henry, who rolls to his left, makes a nice move, and just barely stopped before the line. Third and short, very short, almost inches. Basically just have to have Lamar Jackson fall forward. The Ravens offense this season, 7 yards per play, would be the highest in NFL history. Wow. So the Ravens have just surpassed the highest offensive yards per play in NFL history if they can sustain it throughout the year. 7 yards per play, 380 yards for the Ravens offense tonight. They have been remarkable, especially after those first 2 drives. 5 minutes are left. Ravens taking the clock, handoff to Henry. He gets the first down and more, 6 yards. And the Ravens will continue to chew that clock up by 2 touchdowns. Ravens offense this season, top 3 in the NFL in scoring, total offense, yards per rush, yards per attempt, red zone touchdown percentage, explosive plays, and third down conversions. They've been absolutely incredible in all of those things. The Ravens offense has just been unstoppable. They are the only team in the last 25 seasons to finish top 3 in all. And that is, of course, the greatest show on the turf, the Los Angeles Rams. The Dolphins came close last year, but that late season December was rough. First and 10, 3, 2, 1. Ravens will just hand it off to Derrick Henry again, who gets about 7. The Chargers have to stop the run somehow, and that'll keep their average at 7. Ravens bumper cars. Yeah, that's about right. Derrick Henry career 2.4 yards rushing after contact, the highest in the NFL since 2016. He really is just a bumper car. 5,255 rush yards after contact, most in the NFL since 2016. He's just a big dude. Like, I mean, if he's complaining about something in a hotel, you're gonna want to give it to him. I think that's just the best way to put it. I formation, play clock, they're waiting for it to get to 1. Here comes the snap. It's Justice Hill this time, who comes 1 yard short, maybe an inch, third and inches. There's a flag. I mean, it's been a fun game. I gotta say, it has been a pretty fun game. It was holding on Tyler Linderbaum for the Ravens. He was healthy for this one, as the center, and he has been active, and that's the first penalty on him today. It's a holding. Ravens have actually stayed fairly clean for Carl Sheffers' crew. I mean, it hasn't been their worst game as far as penalties go. Done pretty well. But Derrick Henry is like, I don't have a pillow. Oh, sorry, sir. We don't have any pillows. Are you sure you don't have any pillows? I think we can make something work. You know, I think you can make something work for the pillows. He's Derrick Henry. He can get whatever he wants anywhere when you're that size. He's massive. 2nd and 14 for the Ravens after the holding penalty. Lamar will take it himself. He'll make one man miss. Can't make the other 10. And he'll go for a gain of nothing. 3rd down. You might just run the ball here, or you might go underneath, try to get the first down. Lamar Jackson all smiles as the Chargers call their first timeout. I mean, it's been a fun game. I mean, even though it's not necessarily super close at the moment, it's been a fun game up until this fourth. If this second half has been really bad for the Chargers, they have to start scoring. They have not been scoring well at all, really badly. They have to get that offense rolling. I mean, I said it at the beginning, the Chargers defense can hold their own well enough. It's a matter of if the Chargers offense can get points on the board. It's not a fantastic Ravens defense, but they've done a good job today, especially exploiting the fact that the Chargers don't have a running game, thanks to J.K. Dobbins being out with a knee injury. 3rd and 13 coming up for the Ravens. Expect a pass play. Or not. You might just run the ball, but they still do have those 2 timeouts. It's looking like a run, and you never know. It is Justice Hill in the game. They'll just hand it off to Hill. We'll be swallowed up in the backfield for a loss of 2. 4th down, so the Chargers defense will get off the field with 1 timeout, 3:14 to go. So Derrick Henry getting a little tired. They sat him out for the last few plays of that one. SoFi's money moments. Mark Andrews from the 16-yard line. They go for it on 4th down. No one knows why, but John Harbaugh was just feeling like it. 4th and 1, Derrick Henry just runs up the middle, gets a huge gain, shows him why he can't be stopped. 4th and 1 again later, he just charges forward for a first down with the forward progress. The Ravens' 4th down conversions have been there, but this is 4th and 15 we're talking about. It's just not going to happen. The punt from Stout is a pretty good one, and that'll be fair caught at about the 36.5-yard line, where Justin Herbert will start his 14-point comeback with just 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Well, it has definitely been just the silence. It's been a fun game. It's been very interesting. Lamar's got 16 of 22 for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Herbert has 186 yards, 18 of 28. I just need Lamar to have like one more completion. I'm so close. I'm going to lose by like 1 point in fantasy. That's crazy. Because he's got Herbert. I have Jackson, but Herbert's having an awful game compared to Jackson, but I just need him to complete one more 30-yard pass. And then I would be winning. Like Herbert needs to throw. Herbert either needs to throw an interception, or like throw a negative pass or something, get sacked, or he just has to get off the field fast enough so that Lamar can throw a few passes. Like, please. It would be such a bad way to lose by 1 point. That is so mean. They showed a Chipotle commercial. Not sponsored. But they showed a Chipotle commercial. And I'm hungry. Commercials are awful. Can't believe they would do that to me. Showing a Chipotle commercial when they're hungry is ridiculous. So 3:08 to go. The Chargers need a big comeback if they're going to want to stand a chance. Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a pitfall for the Chargers from here on out. They do not have an easy upcoming schedule. They have the Falcons. They have teams all above 500 for the next 4 games, which means worst case scenario, this is a Chargers team that could be looking at 7-8 before you know it. They do have the Patriots and Raiders in the final 2, which could be fairly easy. But these next 4, they got the Bucks, the Broncos. Sorry, the Bucks are not above 500, but they are a very good team who can very easily beat the Chargers. So they have the Falcons, they have the Bucks, they have the Chiefs, they have the Broncos. Those are tough games to win. Meanwhile, in the AFC North, the Ravens have the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Browns to contend with. The Steelers being their biggest rival at the moment. They beat them in their first divisional matchup. Herbert is sacked from behind. Not something that can happen, but there are multiple flags, likely holding, or a penalty on Odafe Owe, perhaps. It is going to be on Odafe Owe for something. Might have been, not completely certain what the penalty was there on Odafe Owe. It was offside. Offside on Owe. I have not said Tui Pelotu nearly enough today. Justin Herbert drops back to pass. He throws, and it is incomplete, heading towards Quentin Johnston. I have not said Tuli Tui Pelotu more than now 6 times. I wanted to say it at least 20, but he just hasn't made plays today for the Chargers defense. You can tell by the score that this is not the number 1 defense that we expected coming into this game. The Ravens' upcoming schedule, they have the Eagles, the Giants, and the Steelers in these next few games, and that is incomplete, pushed away, and Quentin Johnston still has not completed a pass to Quentin Johnston. It's 3rd and 5 now. 2 consecutive drops from Johnson. Great defense, though. You got to admit, that was perfect defense by White. And the Chargers fans are not having a great time here. That should have been a first down. Instead, it's another Quentin Johnston drop. 4 targets, no receptions. You got to stop. You got to throw to someone else. And the Ravens bring heavy blitz. Herbert under pressure, and he is sacked. It'll bring up 4th and long. They got to go for it. And the Ravens defense is coming up huge on Justin Herbert as they just surrounded him, and then the pocket closes so fast, and Brandon Stevens gets the sack on Herbert. 4th sack of the day for the Baltimore Ravens. It has not been easy for LA to find space. '89 in motion, 4th and 9. Herbert needs a first down for the Chargers for the game. Herbert throws, and it is caught by McConkey at the 45-yard line. And Lad McConkey keeps the Chargers' day alive at the 2-minute warning, down by 14. The comeback's not over yet. Kyle Van Noy, Williams and the Ravens defense, Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's everything you could want from a Harbaugh and more. And yet, this is still a 2-possession game. We'll see how it finishes. What is this? What are these random commercials? It's like I'm watching all the movie commercials, but like I don't. What? Wow, there must be some pretty aggressive language in that. 30-16 is the score right now at the 2-minute warning. The Ravens took full possession after the Chargers got off to a strong 10-0 start. Then the Ravens started piling on points. It's been that way since the second quarter, where the Ravens have outscored the Chargers 30-6. It has it's been quite the game, honestly. I've had a nice time. Got some good calls. The justice has been served again was pretty good. Gotta admit, that one was pretty good. The Mark Andrews one was funny. I'm like, touchdown! Wait, what? You're serious? That had to have been a touchdown. It's a pretty good call too. We've had some good ones. The Rashad Bateman touchdown was just me in shock. It has been quite the day for the Ravens. I do need Lamar Jackson to complete 2 more passes. I'm not going to win fantasy. I've come to terms with it. Like, it's already over. He's just going to take a knee. So I have lost fantasy, even though my opponent's quarterback had like 15 fantasy points. Ridiculous. And I still lost because of Saquon Barkley. After the game, nothing's after the game. I'm just reading what they have up there. John and Jim Harbaugh, the 2 coaches of each team, the brothers. Looks like John will be going 3-0 against his brother Jim. 1st and 10 from the 44.5. Justin Herbert drops back to pass. Pressure coming, incomplete, swatted away by Marlon Humphrey. Good defense by Humphrey there. And the Ravens have locked down on defense so far in this one. It's been really impressive. I was just good defense, just swatting the ball away, getting him at an odd angle. Good job by Humphrey not getting there too early. Just good defense in general by the cornerback. 2nd and 10. Justin Herbert has not had an easy time getting the offense going on this comeback. Herbert looks deep, under pressure, rolls to his right, has to step up. Multiple holding penalties on the Chargers, and Herbert tries to make a move. He will, and he'll get out of bounds at about the 31-yard line, but this is without a doubt coming back. And Jim Harbaugh is saying face mask. I disagree. Yeah, holding on the rookie Joe Alt. I definitely agree with the holding call on that one. They're saying face mask, but I'm not sure where the face mask could have been. It was right there where the holding was on Owe. And again, where was the face mask? Okay, 2nd and 20. Chargers not finding luck as they're back in their own territory. And the Chargers' comeback drive is not really going anywhere. They basically haven't moved. Herbert looks deep. Throw short to Will Disley. And that'll go for about 7 yards, 8 yards. They're going to give him 9. I was close. 30-16. Chargers don't have long now. 138. Chargers' upcoming schedule, they have the Falcons, the Chiefs, the Bucks, the Broncos, then the Patriots and Raiders. That is tough schedule. 3rd and 11. And the Ravens will call a timeout. Their first time out of the game, as John tries to smother the Chargers offense on 3rd and long. First season under Jim Harbaugh, the 2015 Michigan Wolverines were 10-3 after previously being 5-7. The 49ers were 6-10, then they were 13-3. Then the Chargers were 5-12, and they're already 7-3 right off the bat. Jim Harbaugh has proved instant success for all these teams. It was a splashy hire by the Chargers. People weren't sure whether it was really going to be all that, but he's been exactly what people have expected. The numbers that have produced in the win column has showed a lot more than the stats have. But people are really happy, really pleased with how the Chargers played this year. But this is a tough loss if they do end up losing this one, which it is looking like it after that 5-yard game by Ladd McConkey. Keeps the clock rolling. Minute and a half to go. Excuse me. 4th and 6. They have to go for this. Timeout LA. They used their last timeout. 2 touchdowns. No timeouts. Minute and a half. Lamar Jackson all but celebrating on the sideline. Well, I am going to go ahead and do the wrap-up. We're going to go through the last minute. Thank you guys so much for coming out here to SoFi Stadium in the Harbaugh to the Exponential's commentary of Baltimore and Los Angeles as the Ravens looking like they're about to defeat the Chargers. The minute and a half to go, all smiles on the Ravens sideline, except for Derrick Henry, who's stone-faced as always. Here's the 4th and 6. An incompletion ends the game. Herbert looks, throws, incomplete, heading to Palmer, no flag, and there's the flag, never mind. Late flag. And so this one will go against the Ravens, keep the Chargers' day alive somehow. And Carl Sheffers for our call. Pass interference, defense number 44. Let's see it. He was a little early. Excuse me. He was just a little early. Wasn't severely early, but he was early there. He had his arm around the back of Palmer. Got there just a bit early. 1st and 10. Keeps the Chargers' day alive. Herbert looks deep. He's got to score soon. And Herbert tries to get out of bounds, trying with all of his effort, cannot. They have to get up to the line. Good job handing it to the referee. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. 107, 106, 5, 4, 3. Herbert gets the snap off. Ravens bring all-out blitz. It's a one-on-one in the end zone. It is incomplete, heading towards Palmer. Good job by... Man, my vision's awful. Number 5. Good job by number 5 forcing the incompletion against number 5. Battle of the 5s there. I wish I could see who that is. He's got a hyphenation, but wow. Wow. Justin Herbert's 21 of 35 for 218 yards, 29 rush yards, and a rushing touchdown. Herbert throws to the left, incomplete, heading towards Johnston again. You got to stop throwing there. 54 seconds, 3rd and 10. So yeah, please, thank you guys so much for coming out. Next week, we will be in Western New York for the Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, I'm sticking with it. We're going to Buffalo. Better than Denver. We're going to Buffalo for that one. So yeah, thank you guys coming out. There are some videos on RSquared's Monday Morning Mayhem. They're really good. They're in the other channel section of the Exponential channel. 3rd and 10 for Herbert. It's got to be a pass, so no reason to even hide it. Herbert will throw to the end zone. Incomplete, heading towards Palmer. There's the flag, and another flag on Armour Davis. A late flag, but he did get there a little early, and John Harbaugh's going, what? So the Chargers, hey, not dead yet. Not dead yet. Pass interference on Jalen Armour Davis. Wonder I didn't know who it was. See how early he got there. Yeah. That was definitely interference there. He was there way early. He was holding on to him the entire time. 1st and goal from the 1. Handoff. Edwards. Touchdown Chargers. They're not dead yet, but their battery is definitely low. That was pretty good, yeah. So that's a late touchdown. Not quite garbage time, but very, very close. 30-22. Extra point would make it a 7-point game and an onside kick from the Chargers. The chances are very low, but we'll see how this one turns out. Dicker for the extra point. Very important extra point here. 1. They got the delay of game. That is absolutely crazy. Man, the Chargers are trying to throw away this game. That's delay of game on the Chargers. So that'll be an extra few yards back. Jim Harbaugh not looking thrilled on the sideline, to say the least. It's Cameron Dicker, attempt number 2. He made the first one even with the delay of game, but this is a little bit farther back. Not enough to make a difference, but we'll see. The Ravens want to block here to ice the game. Basically, for certain, ice the game if they block it. It will not be in the extra points. Good. 30-23. We're down to a touchdowns game here in Southern California, but there's only 46 seconds to go, and the Chargers need an onside kick. Lamar Jackson has been crazy in this one. You see him taking himself. He gets a nice little hole, doing what he does best, getting him at the end zone. Bye, and then bringing back some deja vu with that skirt there at the end. And then an absolute dime right into his rib cage of Rashad Bateman. Fantastic. Then this one, he throws it where only his guy can catch it above 2 defenders. He throws it right into Mark Andrews. I mean, there was only one person catching that ball, or there was no one catching it. Pinpoint accuracy from Lamar Jackson as the game has gone on. And up by 7, the Chargers will need an onside kick. And here we go. A last-second hurrah from LA to see if they can win this Harbaugh. 3 of 36 in the NFL this year. Here it comes. It's a short one, and it is recovered by the Ravens. That'll do it. Isaiah Likely with the onside kick recovery. And John Harbaugh will win against his brother for the 3rd time. 30-23. This is the highest total we've had on an exponential commentary this year. That's crazy considering it's not even like a shootout or anything. It's like 30-23. Well, no, yeah, it's still higher than the Ravens-Chiefs game by 1, I believe. So the Ravens will come out. It's their 5th straight win on Monday Night Football, the team's longest streak, and that's the kneel down. They'll have to take one more. Hey, just give the ball back. We're just going to take a knee right now. And here they go. With 35 seconds, of course, we wait till the final second. We'll do the countdown, and that'll do it here in Baltimore. And then I'm going to leave. I've already said my little exit. So that'll end the stream. Here's the last kneel down for Baltimore. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens are walking out with a Monday Night Football win, 30-23. The Ravens will improve to 8-4. The Chargers will fall to 7-4. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens have won the Harbaugh. Thank you guys so much for watching here on the Exponential. And I will see you next week in Buffalo, Western New York, as the San Francisco 49ers get set to take on the Buffalo Bills on Sunday Night Football. Goodbye.